OMAC. So, Matt, if we're looking at these two teams, there's a little bit of a contrast. Newport throws the ball, and that's basically the contrast. Yeah. Okanogan running kind of a spread option.
Yeah, they have an interesting way of setting up their spread option. They like to put people in motion across the formations, potentially open up some holes on the outside. But if they can't get that, they'll be happy to pound it inside and kind of see what the defense gives them. So it'll be interesting to see how those reads go for the starting quarterback for Okanogan, Bo Silverthorne.
Absolutely. We're going to talk a little bit more about Newport and run you right into the national anthem when we come back. You're listening to Newport High School Football on 91.5 Cubs FM.
Bonner Saw and Power Equipment is a valued sponsor of Cubs FM. Located at 682 High Street in Priest River, Idaho, Bonner Saw is an authorized dealer of Husqvarna and Echo chainsaws, as well as lawn and garden equipment, sales, and service. Bonner Saw and Power Equipment can be contacted at 208-448-1522. That's 208-448-1522. Bonner Saw and Power Equipment, where our customers are our neighbors and our friends.
Cubs FM gives a big thanks to Big Moose Rental Center and Trading Post. Located at 917 9th Street, just before the high school in Priest River, Big Moose Rental Center provides a variety of amenities: rentals, secondhand, consignment, eBay sales, antiques, and more. Big Moose Rental Center is open from 7:30 to 6 Monday through Friday and 9 to 3 Saturday and Sunday. You may contact Big Moose Rental Center at 208-448-2736. The right tool for the right job. That's Big Moose Rental Center and Trading Post.
Cubs FM would like to thank Broncourse Company for their sponsorship. Broncourse Company is a full-service environmental contractor specializing in mechanical logging, forestry mulching, road construction, watershed restoration, excavation, and demolition. Broncourse Company is located in Elk, Washington, and can be contacted at 509-292-9701. Again, that's 509-292-9701. Good people serving a great community. That's Broncourse Company.
Back here from Newport High School on 91.5 Cubs FM, I'm Andrew Goodwin, joined today in the booth by Matthew Spencer for today's game between Newport and Okanogan. Both teams practicing ahead of the national anthem. We've got about a minute till that here, and we'll cut for a break there. Newport coming into today's game, they've got a 7-1 record. They're 5-1 in the Northeast A-League. Okanogan 6-3 and 2-2 in the Caribou Trail League. Okanogan losing to OMAC and Cascade, but beating Kashmir. These two conferences have matched up just twice this season. OMAC winning over Lakeside 35-33, and Riverside defeating Chelan, who is kind of at the bottom of the Caribou Trail League, 23-14. I don't know if we can really get anything out of those results because they're two teams that won that are kind of a couple spots up in their league over where the losing team wasn't there. So OMAC number 1, Lakeside number 4, Riverside number 3, and Chelan number 6.
Exactly, and we'll have a lot obviously decided today, both on this field and, of course, like you were saying, OMAC hosting Riverside in OMAC. So a lot will be decided between these two conferences as they fight for playoff spots. Of course, Colville, because they won the Northwest East the conference, they are advancing to the playoffs, but 2 more playoff spots on the line tonight, so it should be exciting.
Absolutely. Other crossover games going on today because everybody gets an extra game. Lakeside taking on Kashmir, Deer Park against Cascade, and Medical Lake is taking on Chelan. So, I mean, that might clarify a little bit as well, but those are all teams kind of at the bottom of the leagues, and maybe, the Caribou Trail's a little deeper this year, maybe the NEA is. I don't know that that's going to tell us anything about what's going to happen in tonight's contest between Newport and Okanogan. We're getting ready here for the national anthem. Both teams headed back to the bench at this point. Let's talk a little bit as we run up to it about the Grizz. The Grizz winning 43-10 last week, Matt, and they've got a lot of weapons.
Absolutely, and you were talking about earlier the ground game for this Newport team can be just relentless. You see Bradbury last week, 3 touchdowns, over 150 yards. But they also can spread the ball around and throw it too. So the dual threat will make it really tough for stop. It'll be interesting to see how Okanogan comes out defensively approaching this potent offense.
And if you're Newport, taking an early lead is probably important here because Okanogan doesn't throw the ball very well. So you get up, say, 14-0, 21-7, or even up 10 points, a 2-possession game, then Okanogan in the second half might have to throw the ball more and get them out of their system.
Absolutely, and both these defense could spend a lot of time on the field if the run game is working for both teams. These could be some long drives in this one.
Absolutely. Other guys to watch today, Jacob Tanner, the defensive lineman for Newport, also plays on the offensive side, but on the defensive side last week he picked up 3 sacks. He just overpowered the guy who was trying to block him. This week we'll see if he can do the same. He could really blow up the run game. And for Okanogan, Jose Ramos tied for the team lead in TDs with 6, averages 45 yards a game. We'll get to the other 2 after the break for the national anthem.
Concept Cable is a proud sponsor of Cubs FM. Concept Cable provides digital cable service as well as high-speed internet to Newport, Old Town, Priest River, Diamond Lake, and much of the surrounding area. You may find the Concept Cable business office at 412 South Union Avenue in Newport. You may contact them at 208-437-4544, or you may log on to conceptcable.com, your local broadband provider. That's Concept Cable.
Bruce Hunt Farmers Insurance is a valued sponsor of this radio station, located at 309 South Washington Avenue in Newport, Washington. Bruce Hunt Farmers Insurance provides home, auto, and life insurance open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Bruce Hunt Farmers Insurance may be contacted at 447-3428 or at bhunt@farmersagent.com. Getting you back where you belong. That's the goal of Bruce Hunt Farmers Insurance.
Excess Disposal Service is a proud sponsor of Cubs FM. Excess Disposal Service provides weekly commercial and residential roadside garbage can disposal, as well as commercial container services both in town and in rural locations. Excess Disposal may be contacted Monday through Friday from 8 to 3 at 208-437-4502. Serving southern Pend Oreille County since 1972, Cubs FM says thank you to Excess Disposal Service.
The home of Grizzlies sports. Cubs FM 91.5 FM. We are the Grizz.
Newport Dental and Associates is a valued sponsor of Cubs FM. Participating with all major insurance companies and accepting Apple Health for children, Newport Dental provides complete family dentistry, including root canals, crowns, bridges, dentures, partials, extractions, and wisdom teeth removals. You may contact Newport Dental at 509-447-3105. That's 447-3105. Newport Dental, where their goal is to make your mouth healthy.
Back here at Newport High School on 91.5 Cubs FM, we are introducing the starting lineups just ahead of today's game between Newport and Okanogan. Matt, before we broke a little bit late for the national anthem, we're talking about Okanogan and the weapons on that team. Talking about Jose Ramos, talking about Dalton Schwasey, who leads the team in sacks, and Julian Cates. Who do you think is going to make the biggest impact in today's game?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think Cates might have the biggest impact. He's the guy that produces the most in the ground game for them. 91.3 yards. If they want to have production today and hold on to the football, they're going to need to get him going early.
And on the Newport side, we were talking about Danny Bradbury, Jacob Kirkwood, Jacob Tanner. What about those guys?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting. I think I'm most interested to see how Jacob Tanner, the defensive lineman for the Grizzlies, responds to this option, this multiple options with some speed on the outsides, and then they like to pound it in the middle too. So seeing how he responds to that will be really interesting, and how he plays a big role potentially in this game. Unlikely, probably going to be too many sacks if they don't throw the ball a lot, but maybe some opportunities for tackles for loss.
Yeah, and another guy who could be big today, speaking of that defensive line, the nose guard, Luke Nichols, going to have an opportunity. If he can take up multiple guys, then he frees, Kirkwood and Bradbury, the linebackers, as well as Tanner, to come in and take away a couple of those options.
Oh, you can never undervalue the role of a defensive lineman in freeing up the linebackers, because the more guys, like you were saying, you take up, those linebackers get free shots through either the A-hole or the B gaps in the line to be able to make some big tackles.
Yeah, and we saw last week one of the things Nickel was especially effective at is he blew up the pulling guard about 3 or 4 times, and he got 0 tackles on those 4 occasions, but he enabled his guys to either stop him for a loss or stop him for a short gain, and that's huge. Luke Nichols is not going to show up in the box score a whole lot, but he's going to be huge on the field today.
Absolutely, and as a running back with someone in your backfield, you have to reroute and readjust and potentially look for holes that aren't there. And that split second of hesitation allows the defense to collapse and really make a nice play.
And another thing defensively for Newport, they blitzed a lot last week. They had a team that liked to go big, so you might want to bring the blitz while those routes develop and you get a couple sacks, and they did. Then they end up getting in the quarterback's head. Against an option team, do you do that?
I mean, if you can fill the gaps well and be sure that you're not going to leave any big gaping holes, that's the big risk with this option offense. If you can get someone around that edge and you blitz up the middle, you could be risking a lot of yards there, potentially touchdowns.
Absolutely. Heading out now is Okanogan to kick off. Newport's going to get the ball first. Okanogan won the toss, elected to defer. So they'll be heading out to kick off. Newport heading back to return. Looks like Bradbury, Kirkwood, and Miller going to be the return men for the Grizz. Miller back in the middle of the field. Excuse me, that is actually going to be Smith on the right side. Miller in the middle, Smith on the right, Kirkwood on the left. Okanogan backing up, ready to kick this one away. And we are underway in the first quarter. It looks like a little short kick. Caught at the 30-yard line, brought forward, breaking free. That's Jacob Tanner who caught it and ran it out to the 50-yard line, the 48. I bet he never thought that he would get a 20-yard return.
No, unexpected for sure, and a huge tackle there by Josue Ramos, the kicker, who's able to get a shoestring as he's running by. If he doesn't get him there, that could be 6.
Adam Moorhead, the quarterback this week for the Grizz. He's heading out onto the field. We've got 11:55 left in the first. Moorhead has trips out to his right. It looks like in this order, Owen, Kirkwood, and Miller. On the far side, I'm assuming is Eggleston, but I can't really see a number right now. First play, run to Bradbury. He tripped initially and gets stuffed at the 50-yard line and shoved back by several Bulldogs. So it's going to be second down at 11 at the 49-yard line of Okanogan.
Colton Schrader there on the tackle, part of the group pushing him back. Good start for the defense for the Bulldogs.
May have pushed the Grizz into a passing down here. He's got Moorhead has doubles out right and left. Gets the snap. Handoff once again to Bradbury. He's going to run it to the right. Stiff arms one man, but another gets there. And Bradbury's taken down once again at the 49-yard line.
Great pressure up front. Josue Ramirez also in on the pressure, just really pushing back this line. They're going to push him into a 3rd and long. We'll see how aggressive this team will be over the air.
So 3rd and 11 from the 49-yard line of Okanogan. 11 minutes left here in the first. Still a 0-0 score. Moorhead gets the snap, rolls out to his left, gets a block from Bradbury. Looks to go long. That's Kirkwood, but he throws it out of bounds on the left side at the 30-yard line. And it looks like the punt team is going to have to come on for Newport. Not a great pass for Moorhead.
No, but he had some pressure there on the left end from Schrader again in the backfield, and he looked like he was about to put a hit on Moorhead, so he smartly throws it to the sideline into safety. Doesn't want to try and force something too early in the game.
So now Kirkwood back to punt for Newport. Looks like Grooms, the return man here for Okanogan. Snap is back. Kirkwood kicks it from the 40. It's a long spiraling punt. Going to land down at about the 21-yard line. Takes a Newport bounce out to the Bulldog 10. Nice punt from Jacob Kirkwood.
Absolutely. Field position is going to be important in this one, and he flips the field on him in this first punt.
So now we'll see what the Okanogan offense can do. This spread option, they're going to kind of run a triple option from the shotgun. A wing back, if you will, from the shotgun. 10:41 left in the first. The Newport defense out on the field. Silverthorne back there has Groom behind him. One man in motion. Snap gets by Silverthorne. Excuse me. That is Colby Treberg. He recovers the fumble in the end zone. I think we're going to have a safety. There it is. So a bad snap to Treberg. It gets over his head, kind of slips through his hands, and he recovers in the end zone because there's nothing else you can do, and that's a safety. 2 points for Newport.
Yeah, Treberg did the best he could to try and get up for that snap just a little bit over his head, and that's a tough play there. And he made the smart decision falling on it in the end zone, preventing a touchdown, limiting the damage, but that's the best he could do in that situation.
So not a great first drive for Okanogan. Now Newport with a chance to get the ball back, go up potentially 5-0, 9-0 if they have kind of figured out a little something about this Okanogan defense.
Absolutely, and Okanogan's defense, after getting a great stop, going to be right back on the field. We'll see if they can put up a solid front again.
So the punt is going to be from the 20-yard line. Kirkwood and Miller both back to return this one. Troy Hill now also jogging back. He was up at the front line there for a second, now returning. So in order from right to left, it is Kirkwood, Miller, and Troy Hill back to return. Josue Ramos, the kickoff man for Okanogan. He's a lefty, so he's off to the right side of the ball and boots it away from the 20. That one is going to be grabbed by Hill at the 31. Starts cutting back into the middle of the field. He's got a little bit of an opening, breaks a tackle at the 45, grabbed at the 50, and wrestled down at the Bulldog 48.
That's a good return there after a nice kick by Ramos. He pushed him pretty deep with that kick. Last time, of course, doing the more of a pooch kick, so mixing it up.
And now a little more familiar territory here for Newport because they're starting at exactly the same spot at the 47-yard line. They get an extra yard with 10:27 left in the first. Trips receivers out to the right side. Moorhead has Bradbury to his left. Hand off to Bradbury. He's going to run right. Got a couple blocks. Cuts forward at the 45 and dives down at the 41-yard line of Okanogan. About a 6-yard gain there for Bradbury.
Yeah, and it looks like they were trying to stretch him out with that bunch formation on the near side, kind of stretching, especially linebacker Josue Ramirez out of that interior middle linebacker position, and that creates a little gap.
Now the ball in the right hash for Newport. Moorhead has trips out to the left. He's got Owen on the right side, Bradbury on his left in the backfield. Throw on the screen pass out to Miller. He's met immediately, breaks a tackle out to the 40, now to the 35, 30, 20, 15, breaks a tackle at the 10, 5, touchdown, Grizzlies! Johnny Miller on the screen pass takes it all the way to the end zone, and he got a couple good blocks, broke a couple tackles on that one.
Absolutely, and a huge broken tackle early, what would have been a loss. He shakes Justin Watts, then later down the sideline shakes Martin Grooms as he cuts back and takes it for 6.
Now Moorhead on to kick the extra point. It is 8-0 Grizzlies with 9:46 remaining in the first quarter. And a pretty good call there from Newport. It looked like he was going to get blown up in the backfield there. That was Justin Watts who came in after him, but couldn't make the tackle, and Miller took it 41 yards to the house. Snap in, Cummings puts it down, and Moorhead boots it straight through. It's good. 9-0 Newport is your score with 9:46 remaining in the first.
Newport 9, Okanogan 0.
That's the start the Grizzlies wanted, and like we were talking about pregame, this is a 2-score lead against a team that loves to run the ball.
Absolutely, and that's the one area that Okanogan cannot afford to get into. Late game, big lead deficits. They'll have to try and answer back right now, see if they can respond to this strong Newport offensive show here in drive number 2.
So Newport will head out to kick it off. Moorhead will do the honors. Looks like that's Groom back for Okanogan. Groom, the running back and middle linebacker for the Bulldogs. Also leads the team with 77.7 yards a game. They like to run the ball a lot. So I think they have 3 guys who get at least 40 yards. He gets 77.
And he'll be the lone deep man. Playing it pretty deep at his own 8.
Last week, Moorhead squib kicked it a couple times. Wouldn't be surprised to see him do it again here. Doesn't have the biggest leg, but he's pretty accurate with it. Kicking off from the 40, there's the squib. Bounces at the 30, rolls out to the 20 where it's grabbed by Okanogan. Ball brought out to the 30, 35-yard line before Watts is taken down by Owen at the 35.
Solid return from Watts. He's able to pick up the squib kick cleanly, pick up a handful of yards, and get Okanogan's offense on the field. Chance for redemption right here.
And now they're looking, obviously, like you mentioned, for redemption. Treberg out there at quarterback. He missed the first snap from Poplier. Bounced over his head into the end zone. Now, obviously, that would have to be a very powerful snap. One man in motion, that's Watts. Handoff to Groom on the counter. He cuts it back to the 40, out to the 44-yard line. Good gain of 7 yards for Okanogan, a little bit of redemption there.
Yeah, Tug Smith there on the tackle, but Okanogan did a great job of hiding that play and creating some deception, really getting a lot of flow from the Newport defense going towards that left side, and a nice little counter going the other direction. Groom's able to cut it up for 7 yards.
Yeah, Watts coming in motion there to the left side, so everybody kind of shifts that way, and then a little sly handoff. So you got Watts on the right, Groom on the left, fake handoff to Watts. Instead, the hands-off goes inside. That's Cates, and he is stood up at the 47-yard line. Maybe a 1-yard gain there for Okanogan.
Yeah, running right into the teeth of that defense, and they're not falling for the motion that time. They stay true to their gaps and make a nice stop, force a 3rd and 1.
8:46 remaining in the first. Okanogan back in the huddle. Now they're going to break. Looks like Silverthorne now in at quarterback. Grooms on the left, Watts on the right. No handoff to Grooms. Instead, a screen pass out to the right side, and that one is dropped by Veenhuizen.
Bounces off Veenhuizen's hands into his face mask. That's a tough play right there. Probably would have had the first down. Good hustle there by the pulling guard, Schrader, who gets all the way out almost to the hash marks to try and make a nice block.
So now Treberg back in. These quarterbacks are going to kind of go in and out for Okanogan. They play both of them a lot. Treberg a little bit more of a running quarterback. He doesn't throw nearly as often as Silverthorne. Grooms on the left, Watts on the right. Grooms goes in motion, handoff up the middle to Cates. He's stuffed right about the 45-yard line. That's where the first down is. It's going to be all on the spot here.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to mark the forward progress, and the officials are double-checking, and it looks like that's going to be good enough for a first down, just enough. The extra effort there by the Okanogan running back pushes the chains.
So Cates now with runs of 1 and 7. That's what we also call just enough. 2 receivers split out wide. Cates in the backfield. Treberg gets the snap, pass out to Watts, almost caught down at the 44. Instead, he breaks a tackle. It gets out to the 46-yard line of Okanogan. So a gain of 1 on the pass out to the right side. 7:55 remaining in the first. Newport still leads at 9-0.
And already you're seeing a little bit of a trend here for Okanogan when they've been trying to pass quick passes, screen passes, trying to get their receivers the ball with some space, get the running backs and the linebackers, the offensive linemen out in front of them, see if they can create some big plays.
Treberg in the backfield, fakes the handoff to Groom. Instead goes to Cates. He's met by Tanner right at the 45-yard line. I think they lost that yard right back there.
And yeah, Tanner just knifes through the defense, cuts right in between the 2 linemen trying to block him, makes a nice tackle.
So now 3rd and 10 with 7:17 remaining in the first. Okanogan going to Cates a lot. He's the back kind of sitting in the pistol behind Silverthorne and Treberg. Cates still back there. Groom's on the left, Watts on the right. Snap goes down, Watts in motion to the left, fakes the handoff, back to Groom on the counter. He's got some open space at the 45-50, out to the 45 of Newport. I think they're going to say he was brought down at the 46, so we're going to have 4th and 1 once again. Last time in this situation, Okanogan went to Cates right up the middle.
Yeah, we'll see if they go back to that. They're definitely going to want to try and get one of their speedsters in space here if they can, because it's shown already that Newport's been able to stuff the middle if they just go right up the gut. They really got to create some misdirection. Also credit Treberg right there. That was a pretty high snap. He was able to go up and get it, save the play, and even get it to Grooms for positive gain.
Pass from Treberg here out to the right side. That's Veenhuizen. Caught at the 35, run out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
Treberg doing a nice job of reading the defense, seeing there was a little bit of space for Veenhuizen, and quickly getting him the ball.
So now 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of Newport. 6:15 remaining here in the first quarter.
Here's that drive eating up a little bit of clock. 3 minutes so far.
Treberg gets the snap, handoff to Watts running across the formation, met by Moorhead right at the 35-yard line. He probably stumbled out to the 33, so no gain there. Nice tackle from Moorhead, the cornerback, who came up to make that play.
Absolutely, and Newport had a couple of defenders on that edge really trying to push him farther and farther out before Moorhead finally made that tackle. But if he's able to get around that edge early on, he might be getting some space.
5:37 remaining. 9-0 Newport the score. Looks like we're going to have Treberg coming back on runs over to the sideline just about every play to get the play call, so they're kind of rushing as they try to get to the line here. Treberg has Cates behind him, Grooms to the left, Watts to the right. Handoff to Groom on the sweep. Slips at the 35-yard line. No Newport player there to get the tackle, but now 3rd and 11 from the 34. That's where they're going to spot him.
Yeah, tough break there. He had a little bit of more room to go, probably at least 2 or 3 more yards in front of him there with some blockers, but the turf trips him up and stops the play short. That'll go down as a team tackle.
3rd and 11, 4:50 in the first. Treberg in the backfield. He's got Grooms to the left, Watts to the right, Picard out wide. Treberg gets the snap, fakes the handoff to Cates, now kind of running a run-pass option. It's broken up on the pass. Oh, excuse me, that's caught by a lineman. Billy Norwell came up with that after a Newport player knocked it down, I believe Troy Hill.
That, of course, after the ball was tipped, so he's eligible to catch that one and take it forward, and he advances it to make a short 4th down for him, but a stroke of luck there for Okanogan puts him in 4th and short territory again.
Out to the 26, so it's going to be 4th and 3, 4:13 left in the first. Treberg heading back out to the huddle. They're going to go for it on 4th and 3. At this point, you don't really have a kicker who can make it, and it's not worth punting.
And they'll hustle the line.
Okanogan hustles to the line. Grooms going in motion, handoff straight to Cates. He's going to run to the right side, met right around the 25, 24-yard line. It's all going to be on the spot once again here, but Okanogan looks like they're headed to the sidelines. And the official motion made, a stop at the 25-yard line there for Newport. Jesse Cummings with the tackle. And it's going to be Newport football from the 25.
Great stop by Newport. They survive a drive over 5.5 minutes right there and get the stop.
Moorhead back in at quarterback. He's going to have Bradbury on his right, Miller on his left in the backfield, Kirkwood out wide to the right. Snap comes in, handoff to Miller. They're going to try and stretch this one out wide. Miller cuts back at the 25, gets to the 27. Just about the right hash mark, so it should be 2nd and 8 for Newport.
Great hustle by Schrader there. Coming from his interior defensive line position, not giving up on that play, keeping up with it, able to make the tackle.
Moorhead in at quarterback. Kirkwood out to the right. He's going to have Bradbury to his left side. Owen in the formation as a tight end on the right. Snap comes back to Moorhead. Short curl route to Kirkwood. Caught at the 30. Breaks one tackle. Breaks another. He's just going sideways, though, and he's going to be tackled at the 30-yard line. So that's a 3-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
Josue Ramirez again in on that tackle, and he refused to let go as they were trying to spin out of that.
And nothing Kirkwood could really do there. The guys just swarmed to him. He gets the curl, and he can't do much about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, he had 3 or 4 guys come in his direction. Not a lot of space to work with.
Now Newport still in the no huddle. 3rd and 5 from the 30-yard line, the right hash. Moorhead is going to have Bradbury on his left, Owen on his right, trips out to the left side. Bradbury makes sure everybody's ready. Handoff to Bradbury there. Tripped up at the 33. Bradbury dives forward to the 35-yard line. I think he's going to have a first down there. Nice little run there with the pulling guard for Newport.
Yeah, just enough. Good pulling guard. He hits the hole hard, and Bradbury, his full extension on the tackle there, just barely enough.
And that's the first down of the game for Newport. They went 3 and out on their first possession and then had a 41-yard touchdown on the second. So now first down at the 35-yard line. It's 1st and 10 with 2:22 remaining in the quarter. Moorhead gets a snap. Handoff to Bradbury once again. Running right. Tries to bounce outside. Stiff arms a man. Stumbles out to the 37. That's a 1-yard gain. And it's going to be 2nd and 9.
An aggressive stiff arm there from Bradbury, but unable to shake Ramos.
Ramos, a pretty good linebacker in there for Okanogan.
He always seems to have his nose in on the football. He's been around the ball or on the tackle at least 60% of the time here.
Moorhead has 3 receivers out left in trips. Bradbury to his right. Throw over to Miller. That one is tipped and picked off. Grabbed by Picard, and it looks like he's going to make a house call. A pick six for Colby Picard. He just read that screenplay when Miller was unable to get the ball. He grabbed it. He had nobody behind him. A 35-yard interception return for the touchdown for Okanogan.
And as you said, he read that play off the get-go. Miller had almost no space to catch that ball. And so when it tipped up there, Picard took advantage of the situation and aggressively takes it to the house. And just like that, a big 6-point swing. And the Bulldogs, if they can add this extra point, will only be down 2.
Yeah, just the safety. Josue Ramirez on to kick, the lefty. Okanogan now has a guy running on, started to run off, now back on again in that field goal block formation. 1:35 in the first, 9-6 is the score, might be 9-7 in a second. Snap comes in, Ramirez kicks it, that is low, and it barely clears the bar, but it does. 9-7 with 1:36 left in the first quarter.
35 seconds left in the first quarter. Newport 9, Okanogan 7.
So not a great series there for Newport. They're going to have a chance to bounce back. Pass comes in a little high from Moorhead. If it comes in a little lower, I think Miller's met for a 3-yard loss, but it's not a pick six.
Exactly, and that's just a tough break there. They brought the blitz from the correct side. You see Okanogan trying to blitz that right side on the bunch formation, see if they can disrupt things. Weren't able to get to the quarterback, but at least kind of impacted the play and brought an aggressive tone to that play. Press coverage from the cornerbacks as well.
Ramos will head back out here to kick it off. Newport sends their guys back for the third time today. The initial kickoff, this touchdown, and the safety. Miller back to return. Hill on the right. Hill on his left, and Kirkwood on the right for Miller. Ramos kind of pooch kicked it last time. We'll see what he does here. He does it again. That's right to Jacob Tanner, who catches it at the 30. He's going to look to return it. He's out at the 35. Breaks one tackle out to the 45, the 47-yard line. Jacob Tanner may lead Newport in return yards at this point.
Yeah, I think he does. He had a really nice return, obviously, on the first one, getting it all the way out to the 47-yard of Okanogan. That time to the 45 of Newport. It's a good field position again.
9-7 our score. Newport leads. 1:29 remaining in the first quarter. Moorhead, the quarterback, has Miller, Kirkwood, and Owen flexed out to the right. Eggleston on the left side. Bradbury's to his left. Ball's at the left hash. Ball comes into Moorhead. Handoff to Bradbury. He's met immediately in the backfield trying to break tackles, but he is not going to get anywhere, and he is going to be brought down. I think Forward Progress is going to spot him at the 43-yard line. That's a loss of 5.
And right there, the Bulldogs' entire defensive line just converging on the ball there. Bradbury fighting hard for yardage, but it's tough when you got 3-4 linemen pushing you back. Not a whole lot of room to run.
Now doubles out to both sides for Moorhead. Bradbury in the backfield on the left. Now switches over to the right side. 2nd and 12. Snap comes into Moorhead. He rolls out to the left side looking for Kirkwood, and he finds Kirkwood at the 50-yard line. He catches it on the out route and then hops over the bench out of bounds. 48 seconds left here in the first quarter. Ball's to the 50, so that's going to be a 3rd and 5 here for Newport.
Great job by Newport getting into a 3rd and manageable situation.
Now Moorhead is going to have trips out to the left. Owen in as the tight end on the right side. The ball's on the right hash at the 50. Moorhead rolls out to the left, gets one block from Bradbury, and then gets wrestled down for a sack at the 41-yard line. That was a great tackle there for Okanogan, and really now has pushed Newport back to where they have to punt.
Yeah, Okanogans love to bring Cameron Stiles off the edge. We were talking about it on that pick when he was bringing pressure from the right side. They blitzed him also on 2nd down, and this time he's able to finally come up with that sack.
Kirkwood back to punt on 4th and 12. It's at the 43-yard line. 19 seconds and counting down. Kirkwood gets it, boots it away. It's kind of a spiraling punt. Fair catch called for by Grooms. He's going to field it at the 20-yard line. So ball right at the 20 for Okanogan as they begin their next drive. There's just 10 seconds left in the quarter, so we'll probably just get one play here. See if Okanogan wants to take a shot.
Another solid punt. Puts Okanogan back on their own half. Long field in front of them as they were able to drive. Their last drive, though, Andrew, 41 yards, 4 minutes. Or actually 5.5 minutes, my fault. So productive drive last time. Let's see if they can build on that.
Ran the counter to great effect last time to Groom. Groom now on the left side. That looks like Josue Ramos on the right. Handoff goes to Cates right up the middle. And I think he is stood up there at the 21-yard line by a bunch of Grizz.
Yeah, it looks like the tackle there is going to go for Bradbury as we come to the end of the first quarter.
Newport leads this one, 9-7 at the end of one. We're going to take a break and be right back for Newport Grizzlies football on 91.5 Cubs FM.
I would like to thank Excess Portable Service for their support. Excess Portable Service provides portable chemical toilet rentals by the day, week, bi-weekly, or monthly for your construction site, business, weddings, and special events. You may contact Excess Portable Service Monday through Friday from 8 till 3:30 at 208-448-2290. That's 208-448-2290. You'll be pleased with our portables. That's Excess Portable Service.
Cubs FM thanks Caltran, the Kalispell Tribal Transit System, for their sponsorship of this broadcast. Caltran is a public transportation service operating on a fixed route from North Spokane to the Camas Wellness Center 3 times per day. Their services are also provided to the surrounding areas, such as Cusick, Ione, Usk, and Newport. You may contact the Caltran office at 509-447-7247, or you may find them on the web at kalispelltribe.com.
Back here from Newport High School, where the Grizz have a 9-7 lead over Okanogan in this win-or-go-home game here, the crossover between the Northeast A-League and the Caribou Trail. It's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 21 of Okanogan as we begin the second quarter. Ramos out to the right, Groom to the left, Cates in the backfield, one receiver, it's Picard. Ramos goes in motion. Cates was looking for the handoff. He looked like the handoff lasted about a second there, and Cates is stood up by 3 Grizz. It's going to be 3rd and 1. 3rd and 9. He got out just to the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, 3rd and long situation. It'll be interesting to see what Okanogan does. We've seen them try to throw the ball in some quick curls, also run some screens.
Yeah, usually they're trying to get a couple guys in motion who can run out and block there. So ball on the right hash, 22-yard line, so I guess it'll be 3rd and 8. Treberg in the backfield. Snap comes in, fake handoff to Cates, now on the counter to Groom, and Groom is brought down by his shoulder pad at the 23-yard line. There's going to be a flag on the play. I'm not sure who that's on.
On the very far side of the field.
I'm not thinking it's on the tackle. The tackle looked like the inside of the shoulder pad on Groom there was grabbed, but I don't think you can call that from the far side, which is where that flag came in from. And it looks like the flag is going to get waved off. So Jacob Tanner comes up with the tackle there. He really sniffed out that counter, which Okanogan used to great effect on, I think, 3 occasions on the last drive. So Groom stuffed for a loss there, and it'll now be 4th and 9 from the 22-yard line. 11-17 remaining in the second, and the Grizz have a 2-point lead.
And this will be decision time for Okanogan. A dangerous spot to try and go for. It looks like they're going to set up to punt instead. Probably a smart decision on their own half.
That's Levi Vienheisen back to punt. Snap comes in high, kind of loopy. Vienheisen boots it away. End over end, it's going to land at the 47 of Okanogan and roll all the way out to the Grizz 37. Pretty good punt there. Really pro Okanogan bounce on that one, and it ends up at the 37-yard line of the Grizz, which is where they will start their next drive.
Yeah, Grizz have had good field position all day. Their worst start is actually going to be here. Actually, they started at their 35 in the last drive, but they've had good field position. Newport has, which allowed short fields and some opportunities to score.
11:07 remaining in the second. Moorhead lining up in the I formation. Bradbury the fullback. Miller the tailback. Miller gets the handoff running to the right side. He's going to push the pile out to the 39-yard line. So a gain of 2 for Miller there.
And it's going to be Cameron Stiles on the stop, the 6'1 sophomore for the Bulldogs.
10:48 in the second. Now Moorhead back in the shotgun. 3 receivers out to the right, 1 out to the left. That's Tug Smith getting his first snaps at receiver. Handoff to Bradbury out to the right side. He crosses the 40. Nobody's touched him. Breaks 1 tackle at the 45. Gets across the 50 and dragged out of bounds. It looked like by his face mask out at the 45-yard line. There is a flag down on the field from the back judge. And I do think that was a face mask. He really got yanked there. Maybe a horse collar, but I think that's got to be a flag.
Either way, it's probably going to be an additional 15 yards for the Grizzlies.
And it looks like our official setting up here at about the 45-yard line. Personal foul. It's a face mask. We were right there against Okanogan, so it's going to be an additional 15 yards on the end of that run, which finished up at the 42-yard line. So that ball is going to get brought out to the 27 of Okanogan. That is a huge gain. Now, that's almost as many as Bradbury just got on the run.
Absolutely, and not only that, there was some great blocking upfield. Tanner was able to engage Styles in the middle linebacker in the second level, really sealed that block and created a nice running lane.
Moorhead back. He's got Bradbury on his right, 3 receivers and trips out to the right, and somebody, that was definitely offsides there. That looks like it was Styles. He tried to jump the snap count, and he was through the line of scrimmage before Moorhead had the ball. So now it's going to be 1st and 5.
The first couple times Styles has read the snap count, he's been pretty good on his timing. It's allowed him to get some pressure. That time, I don't know if it was a different cadence or what it was, but Grizz are able to get an extra 5.
Maybe a little bit of a delayed snap there, you call it, and then the center's got to wait a second and go. Not really sure. 10-19 remaining in the second. 3 receivers out to the right side for Newport. Bradbury in the backfield to the right of Moorhead, and it looks like Styles is going to get flagged again, I think, for encroachment. It looked to me like he was trying to come in and yell at the Newport lineman, and it's going to be offsides once again. So that's a first down on 2 offsides penalties. The ball now out to the 17-yard line of Okanogan, and they've now given up 25 straight yards on penalties, a quarter of the field.
Yeah, and that's an advantage you're just giving to the other team, really shortening the field and making it a little tougher on your defense. Another first down and plus territory.
Same formation once again for Newport. 3 guys to the right, Bradbury to the right, Smith to the left. Handoff goes to Bradbury. He's looking to run left, breaks 1 tackle at the 15, wrestled down at the 13-yard line by 2 Bulldogs. That looked like Chet Cragen and Dalton Schwazy out there on the tackle at about the 12. So now it's going to be 2nd and 5 after that 5-yard gain.
Cragen picking up the mess after a couple broken tackles.
Bradbury now is going to set up to the left of Moorhead. Smith still out to the left, trips out to the right. Ball's going to be snapped from the left hash. Snap comes into Moorhead, run to Bradbury, met in the backfield there by Schwazy, and he inches his way out to the 28-yard line. I think he lost a yard there.
And again, Cragen in on the tackle as well. Some good pressure up the middle by this Bulldog squad.
Ball on the 13, 3rd and 6. Now we're going to go with a couple doubles formations here for Newport. Smith and Miller on the left, Kirkwood and Owen, I believe, out on the right. Moorhead barks out directions. Ball still on that left hash at the 13-yard line. It's 3rd and 6 here for Newport. Moorhead blitz coming, throws to the end zone. Smith couldn't bring that one down one-handed. Running a post route to the end zone. Moorhead had a guy right in his face who came in unblocked, and he just kind of hucked that one up and hoped Smith could come down with it. It was a little too far in front of him.
Great effort by Smith. He full extends with his good right hand to try and almost backhand that ball and reaches out just barely out of his reach as Moorhead was facing some serious pressure right in his face.
Now Owen in at tight end, 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. It's 4th and 6. Newport needs this one to get this game back up to a 2-score lead. It's 9-7 Grizz with 8:58 remaining in the second quarter. Bradbury to the right. Moorhead is going to check that one back to the sideline. So he has effectively trips out to the right side with Owen in at tight end. Snap comes in, handoff to Bradbury, waits for a second. Stiff arms one man, gets the ball out to the 11. That's not going to be enough for the first.
And a good hold there from Okanogan. They can prevent points from going on the board and have a chance to try and get some offensive momentum after a good drive, a really strong drive by the Newport Grizzlies.
So the 2 teams going to switch sides. Ball is on the 10-yard line. 8:52 remaining in the second quarter. 9-7 Grizzly lead. Okanogan hops into the huddle. They got Picard out to the right. Trebergen at quarterback, 2 running backs behind him, one of them Grooms, the other one Cates. Snap comes in, handoff to Cates running left, met by Bradbury, spins free for another 2 yards, out to the 13-yard line for Cates. So it's going to be 2nd and 7 with 8:40 remaining here in the second quarter for Okanogan.
Bradbury in on that tackle, doing a little bit on both sides today. You'll be hearing his name, I'm sure, a lot more as we move on the broadcast.
Yeah, especially as a linebacker against this Okanogan attack. Linebacker is going to be crucial. Bradbury and Hill and Kirkwood. I don't know if Hill is officially listed as a linebacker, but that's basically where he plays, kind of a money backer spot. Treberg in the backfield. Grooms comes in motion. Treberg bobbles the snap. Now he's just going to try and run himself with it. Sneaks out to the 17-yard line. He had a little bit of a hole before he was taken down at the 18.
Good improvisation there by Treberg after the bad snap. You can't afford to try and get your original play back together. Just get some positive momentum going forward, and he's able to pick up a trio of yards there.
Now 3rd and 2 from the 18-yard line. So now Treberg and the Bulldogs just need 1 yard. Yes, I was wrong. It's actually at the 19. So they need 1 yard to get the first down. Cates is in the backfield. Grooms to his left. Ball comes in. Handoff goes to Cates. He surges forward, finds the smallest hole in the line, and gets it out to the 22-yard line. That's a first down for the Bulldogs.
And Cates kind of ducks his way through a narrow window right there, sneaks underneath a defender, and is able to sneak by and get a first down.
1st and 10, Okanogan.
So Okanogan, 1st and 10, 7:23 left in the second quarter. And they can really eat up some clock with this offense. They're running the ball. They're huddling up. I mean, this could chew up 5 to 7, I guess, minutes of clock if they march all the way down the field.
Absolutely. And they also run to the sideline in between plays as well.
Treberg checks the play. He's going to send Ramos out to the left. Ramos comes around in motion. He's running to the left side. Handoff fake to there to Cates. Pitch out to Ramos. Gets it at about the 25-yard line. Breaks one tackle out past the 30, the 35. Pushed out of bounds at, I think, the 34-yard line. No, it's further than that, the 37.
Huge tackle there by Bradbury. Saves him probably an additional 10 yards as the next guy behind him was Troy Hill, but Troy Hill had to take an angle. Probably wouldn't have caught him till the 50. So a huge tackle to save 13 yards.
And a nice pitch play there. Good decision from Treberg to pitch it out to Ramos. Kind of rumbled around that left side all the way out. Broke one tackle, and then he was off to the races. There was no one behind that Newport defender. Van Heesen out to the right side. Ramos is to the right in the formation, just outside the tackle. Pass play for Treberg. He's looking long, looking for Van Heesen. Van Heesen, I think, is going to get flagged for OPI. He has to be. Moorhead was in coverage, and it looked like Van Heesen threw him down at the 35. The ball ends up at about the 30, and Van Heesen unable to dive and catch it.
And Moorhead had great positioning in that play, stayed on the inside hip the whole way. The throw just a little bit too far inside. If they can push that a little bit farther to the sideline, Van Heesen doesn't have to go through to get to that play, but Moorhead played some great defense on the corner.
And looks like we're waiting for the call from the official here. And that's going to be pass interference against Van Heesen. Van Heisen, excuse me. And so that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So that is going to drop Okanogan all the way out to, I think, the 22-yard line. Yeah, that's where the referees are spotting it. So it's going to be 1st and 25 for Okanogan. And in a run-first offense, that's not ideal.
Not ideal, but they did show that they will take the big shot. So we'll see if they do it here on first down or if they go something a little more conservative, try and get some of those yards back.
Ramos just outside the tackle on the right. Treberg getting quarterback. Grooms comes in motion. Handoff on the jet sweep. Grooms gets out to the 25 before he is met. I believe that was Troy Hill at the 25. Excuse me, Tug Smith actually coming up from his safety spot there to make the stuff at the 25. That's about a 3-yard gain.
And Smith read that great, coming all the way, as you were saying, from the safety spot, aggressively attacking that hole, seeing Grooms and meeting him before he could get too many yards back.
About 6 minutes, 20 seconds, 2nd and 22 here for Okanogan. Okanogan started to head to the line before they had the call from the quarterback there. Now Treberg hustles over into the huddle. Boy, this offense chews clock because they do a verbal play call from the coach to the quarterback there. Ramos to the right, Grooms to the left. Ball comes into Treberg. Screen pass out to Van Heisen. Breaks one tackle at the 30. Rumbles out to the 35-39. And Smith takes him down at the 40.
They get a good chunk of yards back there. Still a little bit of a 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 or so.
A little more manageable than 2nd and 22, though. So after that screen play, it's going to be 3rd and 7, 5:28 remaining in the second quarter. 9-7 Grizz is the score. We haven't had any score, I don't think, since the first quarter. Nothing here in the second.
And when you think about it, Andrew, 9 of those points coming via defense. So you have a safety and a pick 6.
Silverthorne now in. Excuse me, that is Treberg. Pass out to the left side. That's Picard on the out route at the 50. And that pass just too far in front of him. It kind of spikes down near the sideline. It's going to be 4th and 7.
Newport linebackers, or Newport running somewhat of a zone there, and you see Miller kind of drop back into that flat coverage, and there was not really much of a window for Treberg to throw for.
4th and 7 once again, and it looks like Veenhuizen is going to head back to punt this one away. 5:08 remaining. Miller going back to return that one. Another kind of wobbly snap, but Veenhuizen boots it away. That's a sky-high kick. Miller's going to call for the fair catch at the 26, 27-yard line there. So the Grizz are going to get the ball back with 5 minutes to play and a chance to make this a 2-score game as we head into halftime. Moorhead heading back out to command the offense. Tug Smith is probably going to be the lone receiver out to the left side. And we're going to go 2 men in the backfield here, Bradbury and Miller. Kirkwood out to the right, Owen in formation to the right. Moorhead barks out directions, ball near the center of the field, maybe a smidge to the right. Snap comes in, Moorhead's going to look to throw. He's looking for Smith, can't find him. Met in the backfield, and 2 men are going to bring him down there. I think that's Schroeder and maybe Grooms.
Yeah, it looks like they combine on the sack there. If one wouldn't have got the job done, the second comes in just to ensure they can get Moorhead to the ground.
So now 2nd and 19 from the 18-yard line for Newport. Now they probably have to throw again here with 4:32 remaining in the quarter. Trips receivers out to the left. Owen in formation to the right. Owen may have false started there, got away with it. Moorhead rolls out to the left side, throws long to Kirkwood, caught at the 42-foot down at the 41-yard line before he is chased out of bounds. So that's going to be about a 25-yard pass play from Moorhead to Kirkwood. Pretty nice play there, nice throw.
Absolutely, a nice simple corner route. You saw Okanogan try and use 2 defenders in this deep third, and it didn't work. There's 3 receivers out there. Kirkwood able to get open. Makes a nice catch.
Now Moorhead in at quarterback. He's got 2 men out to the right as well as Owen in at tight end. Smith to the left. Moorhead looking on the option. Pitch out to Bradbury. Caught at the 35. Rumbles to the 40. Breaks a tackle out to the 50, and he's brought down. And he's going to be spotted at the Newport 49, but I thought he got out to at least the Okanogan 48. I think that's another 3 yards.
And maybe potentially stepping out of bounds there earlier. Maybe that's what the official has. But Tug Smith there with a huge block, just enough to seal that edge.
49-yard line, 2nd and 3 for Newport with 3:49 remaining in the quarter. Handoff goes to Miller. They tried to stretch it out, and Bradbury missed a block there. Miller taken down at the 44-yard line of Newport. That is a 5-yard loss.
Logan Bird, outside linebacker, does a nice blitz there, gets right through the defense, and is able to make a big tackle.
So now 3rd and 8 for Newport. 3:28 remaining in the second quarter. And you may just want to chew some clock here if you're not going to go for the first down or if you don't get it. Moorhead barks out directions. Double receivers out to the right and left. Straight pass. Moorhead rolls out to the right side. He's got some space. May try to run. Instead throws it down the field to Kirkwood. It's caught at the 25-yard line. Tangled up there with Treberg. And Jacob Kirkwood. A big pass play out to the 23-yard line of Okanogan. That is going to be a Newport first down.
What a throw on the run by Moorhead there. And at the end of the play, it looks like Okanogan trying to claim they recovered a fumble, but it looked like Kirkwood was well down before the ball came loose. So that's going to stand as a completed catch.
Ball at the 23, 3:06 left. Here in the second quarter, the Grizz have a 9-7 lead. They're looking to extend. They're at the Okanogan 22-yard line is where it looks like it was spotted. Snap comes into Moorhead. Handoff to Bradbury. He's a very patient runner, but that time it didn't really work out. He's stuffed at the line of scrimmage, though he does break a tackle or 2 on the way.
Tackled at the 20-yard line for a gain of 1 yard.
2:43 on the clock here now. Kind of in a race against time for Newport. They are best off when they can run the ball, but that can chew a lot of clock.
Absolutely. Good news is they do have timeouts left. I believe all 3.
Moorhead has Bradbury to his right, 3 receivers out to the left, gets the snap. It's going to be an option, and Moorhead elects to take it, but he elected to take it too soon. You got to at least fake out the left end there. Instead, he takes a step too early and is tackled after no gain.
And again, you're right there. He has Bradbury there as a pitch option. He's got to force that right or the left side end to commit before he makes his decision.
Now Moorhead is still going to have 3 receivers out to the left. The ball is on the right hash. Bradbury sets up to the right of Moorhead. Owen, the tight end, on the right side. Now Bradbury switches over to the left side of Moorhead. Moorhead steps back, looking to pass. It's supposed to be a screen. Instead, the ball's floated to Kirkwood. He caught it at the 5, stumbled to the 10, broke a tackle, and scores for Newport. I don't think that was the designed play, but Jacob Kirkwood scores anyway.
Yeah, Jacob Kirkwood kind of taking advantage of opportunities there. It looked like it was going to be set up for a running back screen. Linebackers didn't find Kirkwood. He sneaks behind the defense, is able to catch it, and actually bounces off a couple of tacklers and makes it into the end zone.
Now Moorhead on to kick the extra point. 1:39 left in the second. Newport leads at 15-8. This extra point would make it a 2-score game. Here it comes. A bunch of guys coming in to block it, but nobody gets there from Okanogan. The kick is good, and it is 16-7 Newport.
That was a big drive by Newport. Both offenses have been able to move the ball and go back and forth a little bit. A couple of drives, straight drives ending in punts. That's the first touchdown we've seen offensively since Miller's touchdown way back at 10:27 in the first quarter.
Once again, we're at 1:39 here in the second. Going to be tough for Okanogan to score unless they decide to throw the ball, which is a smidgen outside of their system. We'll see what they decide to do here. 1:39 in the second. Moorhead's heading out now to do the kickoff. 16-7 is the score here, with the Grizz leading by 9, potentially heading into halftime. It would take a real big play, and you'd think the Grizz are going to be ready for it on defense, but Okanogan has shown that they have some guys with some speed, maybe breaks a tackle, and we're back to a 2-point game.
Absolutely. We got a guy back with speed to return this one as well, Grooms. They'll have to make sure they try and contain him, though, as you said before, Moorhead does like to try the squib kick.
The ball falls over there on Moorhead. We'll see what he decides to do here. Maybe you just kind of try to squib it. Grooms is in the center of the field at the 10-yard line. Maybe you try to squib it to the left or right there. Make him at least run sideways for it.
Yeah, or try and find a gap somewhere in that second row.
Here comes the kick from Moorhead. Not quite a squib, but a low-line drive. It rolls. Grooms has trouble with it at the 10. He brings it out to the 20, 25, gets through a hole at the 30, and is dragged down at the 35-yard line by Newport.
And it looks like it's going to be, again, Tug Smith in on the tackle.
No surprises there.
Yeah, he's not letting that left hand get to him, still in the action, trying to make catches, making a lot of tackles here around the field.
1:32 left in the second. Okanogan's going to need to throw the ball. They do have all 3 of their timeouts right now. And after a first down, they're going to stop the clock while the chains move.
We've seen them try and target Van Hoosen.
Treberg gets the snap, drops back, looking over the middle of the field for Ramos, but that ball moved about 3 yards to the left at the 45-yard line, and it was almost picked off there by Cummings.
Looks like potentially a miscommunication there. Ramos kind of sat in that zone, and it looked like Treberg thought there was going to be an out route ran there. And you're right, Andrew, almost resulted in a pick there as Newport able to get some fingers on it.
That's Jesse Cummings, kind of the defensive back / outside linebacker. Now Treberg back kind of in that pistol formation. Ramos to the right. Drops back to pass, play action, pump fake. Now he's looking long for Veenhuizen. Throw goes way high in the air, and it's picked off by Smith at the 39. Smith returning it out to the 50. He's staying in bounds out to the 40. Jukes at the 30. and he is going to be brought down at the 29-yard line. Who needs two hands?
An impressive catch there by Smith, as both him and Moorhead have great coverage on the outside.
There was a flag thrown on the return, and it looks like there's one where the line of scrimmage was, so maybe a flag before the play. We're going to see and wait on the referee.
And it looks like there's also a hat on the field, which once a referee's already thrown their flag, if they throw their hat, it means there's a second penalty on the same flag, so we'll have to sort through what looks like potentially 2 or 3 flags.
So lots of laundry out there is what we're saying. But that ball kind of pump fake there from Treberg, and then he tries to lift it long for Veenhuizen on the right-hand sideline. And it was just too high. Moorhead probably would have picked it off if Smith didn't. There was no way that pass was getting completed.
And they were really hoping Moorhead and Smith would both jump on that initial pump fake. He really pumped hard on that wheel route, but wasn't really able to get enough underneath it. As you said, both of them in great coverage there. Well-run route, just not quite enough on the ball.
Yeah, and at that point, I think you might be looking for, you're thinking, okay, one of the guys has got to go. So if you don't see Moorhead, the cornerback bite, then you're assuming the safety bit, and you can maybe throw it over the top, but no chance. Neither guy bit there. Smith was too smart for that and was able to go pick that one off.
And I think to a degree it looked like Moorhead was able to catch up on that initial out route when he cut up field. He did a great job of hustling to get back into position. There was a little bit of separation there on the initial pump, but covered some ground to get back.
Referees still discussing this one. Both teams at this point have sent offensive linemen and defensive linemen on and off the field. 3 fouls on the play.
3 penalties on the play.
The final one waved off.
Last penalty is waved off.
And it looks like there's going to be roughing the passer called on Newport, and an illegal block in the back also called on Newport. So I think what's going to happen here is Okanogan is going to decline the block in the back. And it looks like
if the roughing the passer is early before the interception, I think there'll be a retention of possession potentially.
And so that's what's going to happen. I initially was confused because it looked like they were going to call a block in the back on Okanogan, which didn't make any sense because it's tough to do that as an offensive lineman. But instead, there is the roughing the passer. Ball's going to be brought out to the 45-yard line of Okanogan. The interception will not count. So Okanogan still has the ball, and the ball actually spotted at the 50. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 50. 1:13 remaining in the second quarter, and the Grizz are up 16-7. Sorry for that confusion. You were just as lost as us. Treberg drops back. Eggleston comes on the blitz. Doesn't hit him. That ball's tipped up by Miller at the 30. Unable to be brought down there.
Initially hits Miller as he jumps up into the air. Almost has a second opportunity to catch it. He puts his arms out there, just not quite able to come down with it, but great coverage nonetheless.
So now 2nd and 10 still from the 50. 1:07 remaining in the second quarter. Okanogan really just going for it at this point. They've thrown every single time, which you kind of have to do with 1:07 left, even if you're a run-first offense.
Absolutely. You got to be aggressive, and again, if you run the ball too much, you can't afford to use up those 3 timeouts that quick. So you got to be aggressive in the air.
Picard out to the right, Ramos out to the left, Veenhuizen in formation, and that one now a run play to Cates, and he is going to be tripped up right away and dropped at the 50-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 10 once again. Okanogan not deciding to call a timeout here, so it's going to be 3rd down as Treberg heads back to the sideline. 51 seconds and counting as the clock did not stop there.
Tanner timed up that blitz perfectly, right on the snap, shoots right through that B gap and is able to get in on that tackle. See a lot of pressure coming from that Newberg front.
35 seconds left in the second quarter. Treberg ready for the snap. He's going to drop back. Blitz coming from Newport, and that pass, I think, was headed for an out route on the left hash. And Grooms slipped there at the 45-yard line of Newport, so the ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, not sure if that was going towards Picard or towards Grooms. Either way, a lot of pressure as Newport brought 6 men on the blitz, really being aggressive here and pinning the ears back with their edge rushers.
So now Veenhuizen back to punt. They've really got it. 30 seconds left at the 50-yard line. Don't give Newport a chance to score. Ball comes back to Veenhuizen. Couple guys coming in on the block. Eggleston nearly gets it. Ball headed end over end out to the 10-yard line. Bounces twice. Gets over and just rolls into the end zone. An Okanogan player, I believe that's Picard, really laid out after that one, but was just about half a second behind the ball.
Still, nonetheless, a great punt there. Even if it only reverses field, sends them back to their 20 with only 21 seconds left. Okanogan can afford to play, prevent defense, get deep, just try and keep everything in front of them.
And it looks to me like Newport's kind of setting up to just kneel one down. They'll call it a half. They're up 16-7. They don't want to lose the ball here deep in their own territory. And here comes, they're in victory formation. Just going to take a knee and finish out the half. Snap comes into Moorhead. He nails it down, and that is going to do it for the first half here in the Caribou Trail Northeast A crossover. It is 16-7 as the clock runs down here towards halftime. Newport with a big lead. We're going to talk a little bit more about this first half, what transpired in the Newport Grizzlies halftime show. That'll be up in just a second. For now, we'll take a short break. You're listening to Newport Football on 91.5 Cubs FM.
Newport McDonald's is a valued sponsor of Cubs FM. Located on Highway 2 in Newport, McDonald's is open Sunday through Thursday from 5:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Friday and Saturday until 12 a.m. McDonald's serves burgers, chicken McNuggets, McCafe drinks, and all-day breakfast. You can find them on the web at mcdonalds.com. Newport McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Newport Laundry is a valued sponsor of Cubs FM and this broadcast. Newport Laundry, located at 420 West Spruce, is open Monday through Sunday 8 to 7. Newport Laundry provides coin-operated self-service laundry facilities, personal and commercial full-service laundry, and drop-off dry cleaning services. You may contact Newport Laundry at 509-447-2809. Newport's full-service laundry and dry cleaning facility. That's Newport Laundry.
Cubs FM would like to thank Stephanie Johnson with Caldwell Banker North Country Realty. Located on 300 South Washington in Newport, Stephanie is a licensed realtor in Idaho and Washington and can guide you through the entire process of buying or selling your home or vacant land. Stephanie knows all the players involved in the process, including lenders, inspectors, appraisers, closers, and contractors. You may contact Stephanie anytime at 509-308-1264. Stephanie Johnson with Caldwell Banker North Country Realty, where it's so much more than just the home.
Cubs FM would like to thank Newport Pizza for its support of this broadcast and Grizzly Athletics. Newport Pizza provides a full menu of pizza, calzones, pasta, salads, sandwiches, and drinks for dine-in, takeout, or delivery. You may contact Newport Pizza at 447-2500. That's 447-2500. Newport Pizza, celebrating 20 years of service to the Newport area.
Cubs FM would like to thank Newport Car Wash for their support of this broadcast. Newport Car Wash, located at 320 Union Avenue, is open 24 hours daily and offers a fully automated touchless drive-through service, self-service bays, and vacuums, both coin or prepaid token operated. You may contact Newport Car Wash for prepaid token information at 208-448-2290. Newport's only automated self-service car wash. That's Newport Car Wash.
Newport Hospital and Health Services is a proud and valued sponsor of Cubs FM. Newport Community Hospital is a trauma level 4 facility that offers many services including a 24-hour ER, diagnostic imaging, physical and rehabilitative therapy, general surgical care, birthing rooms, and laboratory services. Newport Hospital and Health Services is on the web at www.phd1.org, or you can call them at 509-447-2441. Again, that number is 509-447-2441.
Back here at Newport High School, where the Grizz have a 16-7 lead headed into halftime. I'm Andrew Goodwin, joined today by Matt Spencer. Matt, as you watched that first half, it felt like the defense has really dominated today. We had a safety, we had a pick six, and just generally, even though they bent a couple times, neither defense has really broken.
Yeah, neither defense has really broken, and actually we've put up some points. We've seen already, like you said, 9 points on the board from defenses. They've been getting a ton of pressure up the middle. Both on pass plays and on run plays. We've seen a handful of sacks and tackles for loss already.
Yeah, absolutely. And offensively, Newport has been pretty solid. They got that 41-yard touchdown on the screen from Johnny Miller, though they gave it away on a screen later in the game. And then they also picked up that touchdown on from Kirkwood on a screenplay that didn't actually get thrown to for some reason.
And let's not forget, they drove all the way down the field. They had a nice 57-yard drive as well, eating up a good chunk of clock that just wasn't able to convert. They got to a 4th and 4, weren't able to get those extra couple of yards. So they've had those long drives, and they've been able to convert on a handful of occasions. We'll see if they can continue to push the ball down the field in the second half.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll talk about what both teams need to do in the second half to either take control or regain control of this contest. You're listening to Newport Football on 91.5 Cubs FM.
Newport High School's 91.5 Cubs FM.
The Obstetric Center in Newport Hospital and Health Services is a valued sponsor of Cubs FM. The OB offers a full-service medical staff and one-on-one service through the childbirth experience. They also provide classes that offer insight in what to expect on the journey of giving birth. You can find information at www.phd1.org or call them at 509-447-2441. Compassionate, comprehensive, close by. That's Newport Hospital and Health Services.
Cubs FM would like to thank Old Town Auto Sales for their support of Grizzly activities in this broadcast. Old Town Auto Sales buys, sells, and consigns cars, trucks, and RVs. Open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Saturdays, and closed Sundays. You may contact Old Town Auto Sales at 208-437-4011. Nice cars for nice people. That's Old Town Auto Sales, located 1 block south of the stoplight in Old Town, Idaho.
Back here at Newport High School, we're at halftime, and the Grizzlies lead it 16-7 here on 91.5 Cubs FM. Matt, we saw both defenses play pretty well in the first half. Okanogan's offense, though, did struggle to get going. They couldn't quite finish off drives. What are they going to need to do in the second half in order to get those 9 points back and win this ball game to stay alive?
I like the opportunities and trying to take some shots downfield, pass the ball, spread out this Newport defense a little bit. And they've had some good success on those counters where they've been able to create some deception and, bring some action towards those sweeps. So I think continuing to diversify the playbook and continuing to run plays that kind of force Newport to respect various areas of their game will be good. Occasionally mixing in that jet sweep, mixing in those mid-range passes that they've been hitting on, those curl routes, will really keep this defense at bay and not allow them to just kind of rush up the field and really clog the gaps on blitzes.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that offense, because I know it's tough to describe, so I don't know how easy it is for Newport to diagnose on defense. You got realistically 4 guys in the backfield. You got your quarterback, you got your running back, maybe a yard and a half behind him, and then 2, I guess you could call them receivers/running backs, just standing outside the tackles, and one of them is in motion every single play. So how do you kind of read that? So, if you have Grooms on the outside the right tackle and he's going to run a jet sweep, but they also might have Cates coming along the right side or some kind of pitch option that way, how do you diagnose that as, say, Danny Bradbury, the middle linebacker?
Yeah, and I think you approach it differently based on which formations you're facing. You've seen a couple of times where they've gone into the full wing T offense. They'll have one receiver split out, but the 2 wing backs and the fullback in the backfield, and then they'll mix it up and they'll send 2 receivers out. And so you pick up on tendencies as a defense and figure out what they like to run from which formations. The tough part about it is Okanogan's not afraid to check down to things. We've seen Treberg already send some guys into some different formations, check down into some deep pass attempts. So they've done a nice job of kind of disguising what they're trying to run.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the Newport side, if they're going to pull away here, what do they need to do offensively? They've run a lot to Bradbury. Some mixed success. A couple times he's been able to break it for 10, 20 yards. A couple times stuffed because he gets met in the backfield as soon as he gets the ball. So obviously you need a little bit more from your offensive line, but do they try and mix it up, run some play action?
Yeah, I wouldn't be against seeing them run some play action. We've already seen their receivers have the ability to break some tackles. On both touchdowns today, 2 and 3 broken tackles on each one of those plays. These are really quick receivers. Obviously, Kirkwood was able to kind of push his way through a herd of defenders that kind of collapsed on him, and Miller doing it a little bit different, being more slippery, kind of making his cutbacks. But getting these receivers the ball in space will be huge, and it will, I'm sure, open up a lot of space for this running game as well.
Absolutely. We're going to talk a little bit more about the second half, what this game means when we come back. You're listening to the Newport Grizzlies halftime show on 91.5 Cubs FM.
Owen's Grocery, Deli, and Soda Fountain is a proud sponsor of Cubs FM, located at 337 South Washington Avenue in Newport, across from the Big Wheel. Owen's provides a full-service grocery, deli, soda fountain, and catering service. Open 7 to 6, Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 on Saturday, and closed Sunday. Owen's may be contacted at 509-447-3525. Family-owned and operated since 1938, Cubs FM says thank you to Owen's Grocery, Deli, and Soda Fountain.
Newport's Perfection Tire is a valued sponsor of this broadcast and Grizzly activities. Located at 311 West Walnut Avenue, Perfection Tire is Newport's distributor of Cooper tires, and they provide full mechanical services by an ASE certified technician. Open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. You may contact Newport's Perfection Tire at 447-3933. Locally owned and operated, Cubs FM says thank you to Newport's Perfection Tire.
Ponderay Valley Network is a valued sponsor of Cubs FM, located on 108 South Washington Avenue next to the Newport Library. POVN provides high-speed fiber and wireless internet to the Ponderay and Bonner County. They also offer professional local tech support and network monitoring. You may contact POVN at 509-447-3067 or online at povn.com. They are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in winter and 9 to 5 in the summer. Ponderay Valley Networks, everything internet.
Cubs FM gives a special thank you to Ponderay County PUD. Ponderay County PUD provides funds for electric bills to families in Ponderay County who are facing financial crisis situations due to employment layoffs, medical conditions, or other unexpected circumstances through their Neighbors in Need program. For more information, you may visit Ponderay PUD at 130 North Washington in Newport, or you may contact them at 447-3137. Quality service at low cost. That's Ponderay County PUD.
Back here from Newport High School, Andrew Goodwin, joined today by Matt Spencer. Matt, the stakes today are huge for these two teams. Newport currently leading 16-7. If this score holds, that's really that's going to carry them into the state playoffs. What's going to happen there is next week, I believe it's actually maybe Saturday, the state committee is going to get together and seed these teams. That's November 4th, and the state playoffs will start November 9th through the 10th. So we don't know who the winner of this game is going to be playing, but we know they still get to play, and the loser's got to go home.
And the tough part about this, too, is you don't have an opportunity really to know who your next opponent is going to be right off the bat. You have to wait a couple days, figure out who it's going to be, and really turn around and scramble and try and put together a good game plan against whoever you're going to play next, which kind of leaves it up in the air. The WIAA is working with coaches and across the state to get conferences and share films and make sure that each team has time to prepare for its opponent, even on a little bit of short notice.
But still, that's tough on the coaches, obviously, because you haven't been watching this team's film. Like, I'm sure Newport, as soon as they were done last Friday night, they started Saturday morning watching game film, and now you're going to have a little bit of a delay there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to wait till Monday and put together a scheme really fast, and it'll really probably be a major advantage for teams that can have coaches that are really good at picking up on schemes and thinking on the fly, but it'll be a tough challenge for all coaches, really.
Absolutely, and just to give you an idea maybe of where these teams could be seated, in the Max Preps rankings, which are unofficial, but you know, they provide kind of a good look into it. They use some statistics for it. Okanogan is the 14th ranked team in the state. Newport is 8th. So maybe Newport ends up, if they win, kind of between 7 and 10 or 6 and 10, and Okanogan probably between 12 and 16, I would say.
Yeah, and it's I believe a 16-team seeded tournament, so 16 plays one and so forth. So there could be a lot of travel set up with this new seeding system, the way it plays out, and obviously both these teams are hoping that if they can find a way to win this one, that they might be playing either close to home or potentially in their home stadium.
Yeah, absolutely, and I believe the higher seeded team is going to get to play closest to home, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting to see what happens after this game, with the winner going to the state playoffs, loser going home. Both these teams made the state playoffs last year. You were looking that up. I believe Newport state semifinalist and Okanogan a state quarterfinalist.
Yeah, both of them actually knocked out of the tournament by the eventual state champion Royal. A really strong team last year, and they both saw that same opponent, and it was a tough matchup for both of them.
Absolutely. We're going to take one more break. Halftime almost over. Just 2:15 left on that clock. Newport leads at 16-7 on 91.5 Cubs FM.
Riverbank Family Restaurant and Faze Lounge is a proud sponsor of Cubs FM. Located on 402 North Idaho in Old Town on the right side of the Ponderay Bridge, Riverbank Family Restaurant and Faze Lounge serves breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all-you-can-eat fish on Fridays starting at 4. They are open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You may find them on Facebook or by calling 208-437-0892. Overlooking the beautiful Ponderay River, that's Riverbank Family Restaurant and Faze Lounge.
Rogers Body and Frame is a proud sponsor of Grizzly Athletics and Cubs FM. Located at 530 South Cass and Highway 2 in Newport, Rogers provides full-service auto collision repair, working with all insurances, with loaner cars available while your vehicle is being repaired. Rogers Body and Frame is open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. You may find them on the web at rogersbodyandframe.com, or you may call them at 447-4225. Rogers Body and Frame. Like it never happened.
We are the Grizz. 91.5 Cubs FM.
Cubs FM says thank you to Siebers Pharmacy for their support of this broadcast. Siebers Pharmacy is open from 8 to 6 Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 Saturday, closed Sunday, and they may be contacted at 509-447-2484. Siebers Pharmacy is Newport's independently owned, full-service Health Mart pharmacy, filling prescriptions and offering a wide selection of gift items. Siebers Pharmacy, located at 336 South Washington Avenue in Newport.
Selkirk Ace Hardware in Old Town, Idaho is a valued sponsor of Cubs FM. Selkirk Ace Hardware is open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they offer full-service hardware along with customer service to help you take care of your home. Selkirk Ace Hardware, 208-437-5669. Once again, that's 437-5669. They are located just across the bridge at 495 East Highway 2. Selkirk Ace Hardware, your hometown difference.
Sherman Knapp Funeral Home and Crematory has changed their name. It's now Sherman Campbell Funeral and Cremation Services. With 2 locations to serve you in Newport and Priest River, Sherman Campbell Funeral and Cremation Services is a proud sponsor of Cubs FM. You may contact them at 509-447-3118 in Newport or 208-448-1012 in Priest River. Our family serving your family, that's Sherman Campbell Funeral and Cremation Services.
The Newport Grizzlies retaking the field here at Newport High School. They have a 16-7 lead. The clock was reset for a second there, so the team's now coming back out of the locker room. Okanogan just re-entering the field, and both teams are going to get a chance to warm up here before they head back out onto the field, which is always nice. No, we want to see 0 injuries today.
Absolutely, and it's a little bit brisk. It's starting to turn into fall here in the inland northwest, so nice to get some time to try and get that body temperature back up, get those, stretch it out a little bit and make sure we don't get injured, as you said.
Yeah, got to get the blood pumping again. Okanogan is going to get the ball first. They won the toss and deferred in the first half. So, Matt, we were talking a little bit about this during the Grizzly halftime show, but what do you want to see from the Okanogan offense on this first drive? Obviously, you want to see them chew a little clock, run the ball well, and score, but if they don't do that, what are some signs that they're playing better?
I think the big thing is they'll be winning the field position battle consistently and putting themselves in positions where when they start with the ball, they hopefully have an easier opportunity to score. They don't have to try and take shots downfield, give themselves long fields to try and drive into. If they can start winning the field position battle, they'll set themselves up for success well.
Gotcha. So if the results don't play out, that's how you know there's good process, is the field position.
Absolutely.
And for Newport, let's say offensively when they get the ball back, because that's a side that has struggled a little bit more. The defense has been solid.
Yeah, absolutely. And Newport, if they can get the ball back on offense and continue to drive the way they've been driving, eat up a lot of clock, this game could go by really quick if they can figure out a way to continue to move the ball down the field incrementally and really grind it out on this Okanogan defense.
About a minute and 15 seconds left before the teams are going to retake the field. Once again, Newport's going to be kicking off to Okanogan. And, Matt, not a lot of big plays in the first half. A couple 10, 15-yard runs. Miller had a 41-yard touchdown on a screen, and you had a 30-some-yard return on a pick six. But that's really it. Not a lot of big 50, 60, 70-yard plays. The defenses in the back have been generally sound.
Yeah, they've been sound, and they've been playing a pretty good physical game at the line of scrimmage, winning some of the battles in the trenches with those offensive linemen, and doing some really effective scheming with blitzing through different gaps and really trying to time up to the snap counts. It'll be interesting. We saw Newport a couple of times change up the snap count, and that kind of threw things out of line for Okanogan. We'll see if they continue to do that in second half, try and keep them off balance. But both these teams have had some good success bringing pressure to the quarterback and trying to blitz.
Moorhead out to kick off now. He's going to get the ball at the 40-yard line in just a second. That is going to be Martin Grooms back to return. Grooms has been held mostly in check. He's had some success on a couple counters. On the year, he averages 77 yards a game, 9.8 yards a carry. So if he gets the ball and you stop him for less than a first down, your defense did fine. You might not love it, but they did fine. Here comes the kickoff from Moorhead. It's going to be a short little kick, rolls all the way out to about the 31-yard line, picked up by Daling. He's going to try and cut it all the way over to the left side. He gets it to the 42-yard line before being wrestled down by a couple Grizz. So 11:53 as Okanogan takes the field for the first time in the second half.
And good field position to start.
Okanogan breaks the huddle. They've got Picard out to the right side, split out. Two men in the backfield, Grooms and Cates. And Ramos over on the left just outside the tackle. Ramos comes in motion. Handoff, I believe, goes to Groom, and he brings it out through a hole out to the 50. Boy, that one confused me. I had no idea who had the ball for a second there. Three guys ran right by the quarterback, Treberg, and Groom came out with it and got 7 yards.
And because he gives it to that third option, he gets a couple lead blockers in front of them. They really opened up a nice hole for him, and a good gain on first down. Some positive energy.
And they had right there, like you mentioned, three guys in a row, so he gets to choose. And potentially you hand it to the last guy, basically two fullbacks in front of him.
Absolutely. And why wouldn't you want to give the ball to Grooms with his speed?
Grooms to the left, Ramos to the right. Handoff goes to Grooms on the jet sweep. He gets it at about the 50, and he is upended by Tug Smith. He is fired up, and he has a right to be.
And that almost is a tackle for loss, him coming all the way from the safety position, only about a half-yard gain. That's impressive. I wasn't blitzing. He just read the play right.
And Smith starts plays about 20 yards from the line of scrimmage, so that was a great read. So 3rd and 1 from the 49, 10:43 remaining in the third. Groom just outside the left tackle, Ramos just outside the right tackle, Cates behind Treberg. Handoff goes to Cates. He's caught by Tanner for a second, and it's going to be no gain at the 49-yard line. Jacob Tanner, I don't think he's going to get credit for the tackle, but he should get partial. He really slowed the guy down there.
Yeah, and he created a lot of traffic in the backfield and allowed his teammates to really, that extra second to really dive into the pile and push him back. If not, maybe they get a second effort, push it that extra yard.
So now the 49-yard line, the ball still at 4th and 1. Okanogan needs to get the ball to the 48. Last time they handed it off to Cates in this situation, just like they did on that last play. Picard and Veenhuizen split out, I formation. Cates in the back. Treberg gets the ball. Treberg's just going to try and sneak it over to the left of the center. I don't think he got there. I think Newport stuffed him at the 49-yard line. They did. It is going to be Newport football. A great stand by the Grizzly defense after giving up 7 yards on the first play.
And huge pressure there by Matthew Kirkwood, who was up in there helping push the pile, and they'll flip fields here.
And on that play, Treberg electing to go to the left side of his center on the sneak, and that was the wrong side because that's where Matthew Kirkwood was. Now Moorhead is going to head back. He's the quarterback, got Bradbury on his left. Tug Smith split out wide to the left, two guys out to the right. Handoff goes straight to Bradbury. Bradbury breaks through a hole, runs out to the 50 where he's hit, keeps churning the legs out to the 47-yard line. And there's going to be a flag down on the play that was thrown by the umpire into the middle of the field after Bradbury was all the way over to the right-hand sideline. So I would think it's going to be kind of a late hit personal foul here. It could be just a really late holding call, but he threw that flag well after Bradbury was past the right hash.
The timing peculiar on that one, so we'll have to see what the result is.
Bradbury was brought down officially at the 48-yard line, so it would be 2nd and 7 if the flag were waved off. The referees are writing something down, though, so that kind of makes me think that there's actually going to be an enforced flag here one way or the other. They're just still discussing it. We've had some long referee discussions today, but one justified because there were 3 flags on a play. One got waved off, and it was kind of a confusing sequence after an interception that got taken away because of a roughing the passer penalty. But this one is 1 flag, and it should be pretty clear cut.
Yeah, you would think. I'm not quite sure what the discussion's on. It, trio of referees in there maybe discussing different perspectives on the play itself, but either way, they'll sort through this here shortly, hopefully.
So the ball would be at the 47-yard line, 48-yard line. The grouping started to break up. The linesman's headed back to the near sideline, where he's going to get some questions from the Newport coaching staff. And it looks like they're headed over to the Okanogan coach. And there's going to be an explanation here. Maybe Okanogan has a chance to accept or decline the penalty. They're over talking to head coach Eric Judd. Kind of seeing what's going on there. And on the near sideline, another discussion happening with Dave Pominani. And both teams, well, maybe just Newport's going to head over to the sideline. And the referee is now heading back out to the field. I know this is riveting play-by-play for our radio listeners.
Well, we're going to get an answer here shortly.
Yeah, it looks like the referee's... I thought he was ready to call it. He separated himself, the white cap, and now still chatting. We're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Okanogan. And the player who committed the penalty is going to be ejected from the ballgame.
Number 50 has been ejected from the football.
Not sure who that is. That's number 50, it looks like, for kicking. That's Billy Norwell. The outside linebacker for Okanogan has just been tossed from this game. And it was for kicking.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a kicking call in a game before. And it looks like they're also going to enforce the 15 yards after the 4-yard gain.
So the ball after that penalty is going to be at the 34-yard line of Okanogan. Norwell ejected. This could be a huge momentum shift if Newport can take advantage. Maybe they'll take a shot here. Miller and Bradbury look like they're setting up in the backfield. Tug Smith is out to the left. Cody Kirkwood to the right. And Michael Owen is on the right side of the formation. So a 21 package here. 2 running backs, 1 tight end. Snap comes back to Moorhead. Handoff to Johnny Miller, and he just slips at the 37-yard line.
It's not the first time we've seen a couple slips in that part of the field.
And on the way in here, we drove up from Spokane. There was kind of rain in spurts throughout the drive, so I assume that hit the field here, and probably the reason it's slippery. And, of course, the cold's not going to dry it out.
The cold, it's the end of the season. You've practiced on it. You've played on it a lot. Field has a little bit of general wear and tear on it.
So now the ball at the 37. It's 12-14. 8:59 remaining here in the third quarter. The Grizz up 16-7. Moorhead with Bradbury in the backfield to his left. Handoff to Bradbury. Run right. Met right away. Breaks a tackle at the 35. Out to the 30, and he is brought down. A nice open field tackle there at the 30-yard line. That's going to be about a 7-yard gain.
That's the quarterback, Colby Treberg. Probably potentially a touchdown-saving tackle. Some good blocking by the receiving core on the near sideline. Tug Smith had his guy engaged and sealed out.
Yeah,
a lot of green grass.
Bradbury would have had at least 20 yards, maybe a 37-yard touchdown there. Instead, it's 3rd and 8 from the 31-yard line. 8:14 remaining in the third. Moorhead looking for the snap, and he really faked out Stiles there. Stiles comes bursting through the line almost to Moorhead, and then he stops and kind of puts his head down and walks back to his sideline.
And we see Stiles had struggled with that a little bit towards the later part of that first half. He had 2 back-to-back encroachments, just trying to read the snap count, being a little bit too aggressive potentially. He'll have to maybe back it off a little bit and watch the ball a little better.
And smart there from Moorhead and the coaching staff, whoever dialed that up, because now it's 3rd and 3, very manageable here when you've got a back like Bradbury. Bradbury's to the left of Moorhead. Owen is to the right side of the formation. Handoff to Bradbury, met in the backfield, breaks a tackle, now trying to get up the field, legs churning. A flag flies in at the last second. It's going to be a 1-yard gain out to the 26-yard line, all pending that flag that kind of flew in late from one of the back judges. Bradbury there kind of met by his own offensive line that got pushed back into him, had nowhere to go, tried to bounce it outside and then get upfield, but not a lot you can do there. And there's going to be a holding call against the Grizz. Let's see if Okanogan decides to accept it. It looks like they will. So it's going to be 3rd and 13 after traded penalties. And the Grizz are going to get the ball back at the 36-yard line. So now Moorhead is going to have 3 guys out to the left, ball about in the center of the field. Owen is on the right side of the formation, the tight end, and Bradbury looks to be set up to Moorhead's left.
Grooms trying to cover that right side of the field, help with the bunch formation.
Snap comes back to Moorhead, straight back. Now looking to run. He has to get out to the right side, about the 40-yard line, makes a pass over to Miller, tipped, and possibly caught on the sideline, I thought for a second, but Tug Smith couldn't reel it in and stay in bounds. So it's going to be 4th and 13. That was an interesting throw because it tipped off a defender, kind of tipped off Johnny Miller on the sideline, then went 2 more yards down and Tug Smith couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, it looked like Pickard got his hand on that first. Good coverage by Pickard, but not quite able to get enough onto it, and they had an opportunity potentially for a catch. I don't know if Smith would have been able to stay in bounds anyways, but
Kirkwood back to punt. He's standing at the Bulldog 49-yard line. Grooms back at the 10 of Okanogan. Kirkwood gets a low snap, boots it away, kind of end over end. It's going to land at the 2-yard line, take 2 bounces to the right, and it's going to end up in the end zone. Tug Smith was fooled there a little bit by Grooms, who came in like he was going to catch that ball, and that was the only second that was needed for the ball to roll into the end zone.
Absolutely. The ball only rolls about 1 yard into the end zone, so if that's, just 1 yard deeper, that's down at the half-yard line. But Grooms did a nice job figuring out where the ball was, making sure that he drew the defenders away from a potential spot where they could have caught it.
And that's a tough spot for Jacob Kirkwood as a punter, but he handled it about as well as you would hope. Maybe you hope it's like 2 yards short of the punt, but
absolutely,
it's tough to really judge that one. The punt was exactly what you want, a nice spiral, so it's going to bounce to the side. And just some bad luck there for Newport and a nice play from Grooms.
That was a beautiful punt.
Veenhuizen out to the right. Snap comes in to Treberg. He's going to run the option with Cates. Pitch goes out, and it is sniffed out by Tug Smith. Cates gets the pitch and is immediately dropped at the 19-yard line.
Treberg made the right read there. He was trying to read Newport's end. Looks like on that play it was Jacob Tanner. Read the D end right, but it's Tug Smith who ends up coming up into the box and making a nice tackle again.
So it's going to be 2nd and 11 from the 19 with 6:48 remaining in the third. Veenhuizen out to the right, Picard to the left. Ramos outside the tackle to the right side. Snap comes back to Treberg, gets a pass. Treberg looking to throw that one out to Grooms, but it was over his head on the post towards the sideline and rolls out of bounds. So now it's going to be 3rd and 12. I think that Grooms was free there. He kind of beat his man, but just unable to make a good throw there was Treberg.
I mean, Johnny Miller was over the top there, but just a step away. If Grooms can get that one step, it was not too bad of a toss by Treberg to get that ball to the sideline. But man, just one step away from catching that, potentially cutting up the sideline there. He had some space if he could get past Miller.
May have been the big play Okanogan needed if they were able to make that play. Treberg now back in the pistol. Cates behind him. Ramos moving in motion from left to right. Instead, the counter to Grooms. Grooms is met almost immediately, but he breaks a couple tackles. Spin move out to the 27, and he is dropped right there. The 27-yard line. I think it's going to end up being about 4th and 3 8-yard run there.
Yeah, a pair of spins there, gets him 5 yards after first contact. He spins out of one tackle and kind of spins around and gets a couple of extra yards on that last one. Good second effort there by Grooms.
4th and 3. Veenhuizen drops back to punt this one away. You got to be ready for the fake on 4th and 3, but he dropped pretty far back into his own territory here. Veenhuizen boots it away from the 18-yard line, kicks spiraling through the air, lands at the 48-yard line of Newport, rolls back just a couple of inches, and it is down right there. So Newport's going to start the drive just barely in their own territory. Good field position once again.
Absolutely. Newport has had nothing but good field position this entire game. They've done a great job of being effective on offense, moving the ball a little bit, punting, pinning Okanogan back in their own territory. We'll see if they can capitalize on the good field position.
Tug Smith, the receiver, out to the left. Kirkwood to the right. I formation here for Moorhead. Miller in the back. Bradbury at fullback. Handoff goes to Miller. Looks like a dive play, and he has stood up right at the line of scrimmage. May have lost a yard at the 45 before being spun down with 5:37 remaining in the third.
And again, it's Styles in the backfield. He's been around the line of scrimmage pretty aggressive from his linebacker position. Okanogan running a 3-4 with those two middle linebackers, but they love to bring pressure through the middle.
Two backs once again for Moorhead. Bradbury to the left, Miller to the right. Kirkwood split out wide to the right. Now Miller's going to head out and be the slot receiver on the left side next to Tug Smith. Ball on the right hash at the 45-yard line. Moorhead gets the snap, rolls out to the right, trying to run an option, but nothing is there. That one was covered well by Okanogan, and Moorhead is brought down at the 37-yard line of Newport. I think that one is going to be about a loss of 8. That's going to be 3rd and 20, excuse me.
And this might seem weird to say, Andrew, but that's a really heads-up play by Moorhead there. Both the pitch man and him were covered up. If he tries to pitch that in that much traffic, that could have been a problem. Taking the loss is probably the best situation for them.
3rd and 20 here. Moorhead gets it, rolls out to the right side. Blitz coming from Okanogan. Moorhead throws that one. It's caught by Miller on the sideline. Gets it out at the 50, rolls down to the 45. I think he might have gotten a first down out to the Okanogan 43, but there's a penalty flag on the play back in the backfield where we usually see some holding.
Yeah, it looks like it's about 1 or 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. This one might be coming back.
Okanogan brought the blitz there on that play. Moorhead was able to find Miller on the out route, and I think that he probably got that one. It looks like he would have been short by 1 yard. Instead, a chop block called against the Grizz. I believe that's a 15-yard penalty, so we might be headed into a 3rd or 4th and 35.
Yeah, 4th and 3rd and very long.
Would you be surprised if Okanogan here declined it? I mean, I wouldn't be. Why not just take the down there and get the punt? But maybe they play field position here.
But unfortunately, I think if you do decline it, you have to take it at 4th and 2 because of the completed pass.
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
But I do like the chop block rule. It really protects the players and their knees. It's a tough situation as a defender when you're engaged with someone up top and someone cuts you underneath. It's really an injury-saving penalty is what that is.
Absolutely. Save some broken legs, some torn ACLs.
Absolutely.
Things that nobody wants to happen out here, no matter which team you're on.
And on the offensive side, it's tough sometimes to tell if your fellow teammates engaged with someone, you're trying to get a block in, so sometimes it just kind of happens.
2 men in the backfield, Miller and Bradbury, 4:13 remaining, 3rd and 35. Handoff goes to Miller, jumps through a hole. He's going to cut it out past the 25 to the 34-yard line. So Johnny Miller gets 9 yards there, kind of gets the ball back into a decent spot for Newport to just boot it away. Can't blame the play call there. I would just want some yards.
Absolutely, and they got 8 yards on that play. Gives them a little bit better field position on this punt. And we've already seen Kirkwood's got a pretty good foot, so we'll see if he can make a nice punt here and get some good coverage from his fellow Grizzlies.
Groom waiting back at the 30-yard line. Kirkwood's going to boot it away from the 25. That one looked like it came off the side of his foot, just barely gets to the marker, bounces at the 43, and rolls nicely out to the 31-yard line. A very pro-Newport bounce there. to kind of preserve a little bit of field position as Okanogan readies to take the field.
Yeah, and very quickly we've already seen 8.5 minutes off the clock in this quarter. No points yet scored. Both defenses playing really well. The only difference, I think, has just been the field position battle. Okanogan's got to find a way, if they want to try and get back in this game, they got to find a way to push it past that midfield stripe and push Newport back. But credit the Newport Grizzlies. They've been doing a fantastic job of continuing to push them farther and farther back, get some first downs here or there, and make some nice punts.
And Newport's strength all season has been its defense. They've only given up more than 14 points once. That was the league lead in Colville. Ramos motions out to the right. Screen pass over to Veenhuizen. He catches that one, gets one block, and rolls out to the 39-yard line. It's about a 7-yard gain on that play. And everybody knew that was going to be a screen as soon as Ramos optioned out.
Absolutely, but great blocking on the outside there from Okanogan by Julian Cates, who's able to engage and really creates that play. If you don't have good wide receiver blocking, you really can't run screens.
So 2nd and 3 here from the 39-yard line. 2:58 remaining in the third. Grizz lead 16-7. 2 men out, doubles out to each side for Treberg. He gets the snap. Going to be rushed by Jacob Tanner, forced out of the pocket. Here goes Treberg, looking to make something out of nothing. Breaks 2 tackles at the 45, gets past the 50, loses the football at the 45. And there is a pile out there. I think that Okanogan jumped on that one, but I'm not sure.
It looks like they did, and a lucky break there for the Bulldogs. Treberg made a great run, was cutting upfield, had no idea that the defender was behind him, and the defender behind him was able to punch it out, make a nice play. Unfortunately, the Grizzlies weren't able to capitalize on it, but a great heads-up play by the defense in pursuit.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10 on the Newport 46-yard line. And boy, just a little bit of a wild play there. Treberg gets a rush out of the pocket, makes something out of nothing, cuts right in front of 2 guys, and then loses the football, and they barely get it back.
And who else is it? Tug Smith on the defense to force a fumble. Might be playing with one good hand, but he's certainly making the most of his presence on the defense.
Handoff here to Cates out of the pistol. Cates kind of stumbles, but he rolls out to the 42-yard line before he's taken down by Eggleston and Bradbury. So now it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 42-yard line. Treberg gets the play. There's 1:45 left. Grizz leading 16-7 here at Newport High School.
And you were talking about this earlier, Andrew. They go fully to the sidelines. You see some teams do 3/4 of the sideline to get their play, but they go all the way to the sideline. It really eats up that time.
Treberg, guys just outside the tackles to the right and left. He's going to drop back for a pass, throws that one to Veenhuizen, and he's going to be ripped down at the 39-yard line, but not before working his way over to a first down. That looked like a screen, except none of the offensive linemen got in front of Veenhuizen.
Yeah, and honestly, we saw Newport run it effectively towards the end of that first half when Okanogan was being aggressive on the blitz, giving them a little bit of the kind of the similar formula to try and create some success.
Ball's on the 34-yard line, 1:11 remaining here in the third quarter. Okanogan has found its way into a drive here, thanks in large part to Colby Treberg. 1st and 10 from the 34. 4 receivers all split out. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Cates right behind Treberg. Treberg drops back to pass. He's looking long, looking for Veenhuizen, and that one is broken up by Tug Smith.
Tug Smith nicely batting that away. Otherwise, that's a Veenhuizen touchdown as he was streaking down that sideline on a nice little go route. Good toss there by Treberg to put him in a position to catch the ball, but not able to sneak it by the safety.
And Veenhuizen got by Moorhead there, I think just because Moorhead's running a zone. So Tug Smith's got to come all the way over to make that play just to ensure that no touchdown there.
Yeah, and the deep cover, too, he's responsible for that half.
Treberg now back into the huddle. 48 seconds left. 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line.
This is a big play here for Okanogan if they want to try and put themselves in third and manageable.
2 men in the backfield with Treberg. Ramos just outside the tackle. Picard out wide. Fakes the handoff, and instead it looks like they're going to fake once again to Ramos. Treberg looking to run to the right, and he is brought down at the 34-yard line, rolling around. Looks like he's in a little bit of pain there. The referees might want to stop the clock and get him some help, but instead he looks like he's going to try and tough it out.
And it looked like he might have got stepped on accidentally as the play was kind of wrapping up and finishing. But he's going to go ahead and get that play quickly. This time he doesn't go all the way to the sidelines.
Only over to that left hash. And now Okanogan rushes to the line of scrimmage. Cates behind Treberg. 3 men split out to the right side. And now it looks like we're going to go back to the just outside the tackles formation, the wing tee here. Treberg steps back, gets rushed. That one is broken up by Bradbury. Lots of B's in that one.
You could feel the excitement from the Newport side in his hands. He did a great job of reading and just hopping right in front of the receiver. Great instinctual play to end the third quarter.
So it's going to be 4th and 9 for Okanogan. When we return, we're going to take a break. The Grizzlies lead 16-7 on 91.5 Cubs FM.
Unicep Packaging is a proud sponsor of Cubs FM. Unicep is a contract manufacturer of compounding, filling, and packaging of pharmaceuticals, specializing in liquids and gels. Unicep is located on Industrial Drive in Sandpoint, Idaho. You may find them on the web at unicep.com. Unicep Packaging, solving customers' problems, always looking for talented help. Again, Cubs FM says thank you to Unicep.
The Camas Center for Community Wellness is a valued sponsor of this broadcast. The Camas Center provides an early learning center, walk-in childcare, a teen room, deli, fitness and aquatic center, a meeting room, as well as medical and dental clinic services. You may contact the Camas Center at 509-447-7122 or on the web at kalispelltribe.com, meeting the health and social needs of tribal members and the community. Cubs FM says thank you to the Camas Center for Community Wellness.
Welcome back to Newport High School. I'm Andrew Goodwin, joined today by Matt Spencer for this do-or-die crossover contest between Newport and Okanogan. Okanogan is going to have a 4th and 9 from the 34-yard line after a run was snuffed out and 2 incomplete passes. And Matt, we were talking during the break. This is decision time.
Yeah, this is decision time. 3rd and 9 at the 34, or 4th and 9, my apologies. If you don't get this, you give them decent field position, but you know, you gotta try and take some chances, see if you can't put up 7 on the board.
Treberg gets the snap. He's going to roll out to the left side. Met in the backfield by Hill and brought down at the 41-yard line. Troy Hill with a huge sack to drop Okanogan all the way back to the 41 and turn them over on downs.
And that's a huge momentum swing for the Grizzlies. A nice little drive there from Okanogan. They started at their own 31 and pushed it up 30 yards. We're moving the ball, but they're able to bend, not break, and get a nice stop.
Now Newport back on offense, a chance to maybe almost put this game away at the beginning of the 4th quarter. Moorhead back, ball on the right hash, Bradbury to Moorhead's right. Hand off to Bradbury, met in the backfield, spins away from the tackle at the 42 and dives out to the 47-yard line. And that's where the ball's going to be spotted for 2nd and 4.
It's no surprise for Newport fans, but we see Bradbury continuing to run hard. He's been fighting through arm tackles all game and really making this Okanogan defense work to take him down.
It looks like ball actually spotted at the 46. I thought Bradbury got to the 47, but linesmen have a better angle down on the field. Moorhead gets the snap, handoff once again to Bradbury. He's running to the right side, this time gets to the 47, probably between the 47 and 48 there before he's taken down.
Yeah, tackled by a duo of Cragen and Ramos.
11 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Grizz lead it 16-7. This is a huge drive for both teams here. The Grizz a chance to go up 2 to 3 scores, or a bigger 2 scores to potentially 3 scores. And Okanogan obviously needs to hold them here. 3rd and 3, handoff once again to Bradbury, running to the left side, gets through a little bit of a hole and dives forward to the 50-yard line. And the line judge on the far side there having to hold off the Okanogan sideline. It looks like he kind of misjudged that play, but the umpire was right on it. Bradbury was brought down at the 50-yard line, so it's going to be 4th and 1 yard.
4th and 1.
And let's see what Newport's going to do. They're all just kind of looking at the sideline, saying, what do we want to do? And Newport's going to take a timeout while they decide we're going to take a break alongside them. The Grizz lead at 16-7 with 10 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter.
Wienheisen was going to go
You're
out there.
listening to KUBS-FM, serving Newport, Washington.
Cubs FM would like to thank Albany Falls Building Supply for their valued support. Located at 520 Highway 2 at the east end of the Old Town Bridge, they are open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 7 to 6, Saturday, 8 to 5, and Sunday, 9 to 4. Albany Falls Building Supply offers all types of building materials, including lumber, tools, hardware, plumbing, electrical, paint, and lawn and care supplies. You may contact them at 208-437-3153. Albany Falls Building Supply. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Bonner Saw and Power Equipment is a valued sponsor of Cubs FM. Located at 682 High Street in Priest River, Idaho, Bonner Saw is an authorized dealer of Husqvarna and Echo chainsaws, as well as lawn and garden equipment, sales, and service. Bonner Saw and Power Equipment can be contacted at 208-448-1522. That's 208-448-1522. Bonner Saw and Power Equipment, where our customers are our neighbors and our friends.
So 4th and 1, 10 minutes left, 2 men in the backfield with Moorhead. Tried to draw the defense off sides there. Now he's going to check. He's got Miller to his right, Bradbury to his left. Tug Smith out wide left, Kirkwood out wide right. Owen in formation is the tight end. Handoff goes to Bradbury to nobody's surprise, but he's met in the backfield and dropped at the 49. That's huge from Okanogan's defense. Unable to stop Bradbury for most of the game. They kind of would stop him in the backfield, but still let him get 3 yards. That time they drop him for a loss of 1, and now it's going to be Bulldog football.
And Bradbury trying to extend that play, trying to get outside and see if he could find a gap. Wasn't able to do so. Just good pursuit by the Bulldog D.
So now the ball's going to be at the Newport 49-yard line. Okanogan's going to start with the ball on Newport's side of the field here as they look for a touchdown with 10 minutes remaining. And the Grizz maintaining a 9-point lead. Treberg in the backfield. Groom goes in motion. Lost the football on the handoff. Ramos has to dive on it. Back at the 43-yard line. That is disastrous for Okanogan. It looked like there was going to be a play-action kind of handoff to Cates, and then Treberg just lost the football there in that confusion.
Lost the football in the confusion. There can be tough sometimes when you're a quarterback in the option offense. They call it a mesh point, kind of when you're trying to hand the ball off to a running back or make decisions. And sometimes if it just hits a little bit of a hip or an arm, it can come free pretty easily.
So it's going to be 2nd and 17 from the Okanogan 43-yard line. Treberg has one man out wide to the right, otherwise in the wing T shotgun. Ball goes to Cates. It looks like there was a fake there, actually. Treberg options it back off. That is to number 24, Justin Watts, and he is dropped for a loss of 3 at the 40-yard line. Adam Moorhead with a nice play.
Great play by the Newport defense. Another negative play, and they force him into a very deep 3rd and long.
So 3rd and 21 here for Okanogan. That is not what they wanted after stopping Newport on 4th down. They're going to have to try and pass and go for a big play here probably with only 8:42 remaining in the 4th quarter. Back in the wing T shotgun, Watts goes in motion, fake the handoff to Cates. Instead they go on the counter to Groom, and he's met in the backfield. 3 straight losses on the run. That one courtesy of Luke Nichols.
Nichols just cuts right through the defense, swings him around for a loss of 3. And like you said, 3 straight plays going backwards, and they aren't able to take advantage of their field position. This is the first time they've started in Newport territory.
And they end up back at their own 38 here as Wienheisen going to punt this one away. Miller back to return. He's waiting at the 25. Then Heisen boots it out. It's going to drop at the 30, and Miller is just going to let it roll out to the 16, 15-yard line, I believe, is where it's going to be picked up by Picard. Miller just kind of hanging out by the ball there. That was a little too close for comfort for some folks.
Yeah, and sometimes when the ball's kind of bouncing around, it'll take an errant bounce and roll sideways. So you got to be careful in those situations. But nonetheless, a good punt by this Okanogan team. And let's see if their defense can hold. They're going to need to get a stop here soon, though. Trailing by 9, only 8 minutes left. This is a critical time.
Yeah, defense is playing for its season right now. 7:53 remaining. Newport a 16-7 lead. Moorhead has Bradbury in the backfield, and to no one's surprise, hands off to him, running right up the middle. He's met in the backfield by several players. I see Logan Bird in there as well as Chet Cragen, and met and dropped right at the 16 there.
It's like also Cody Butcher potentially in the, oh, my apologies. Zestiger is in there as well on the tackle.
Now Moorhead, 2 men out left, 2 men to the right, 7:21 remaining and the clock ticking down. 2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line. Kirkwood goes in motion, gets it on the jet sweep, breaks the tackle. That was Bird who got it broken, but then he's met right away. I think he lost a yard there, did Kirkwood. So now dropped at the 15-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 11 with 7 minutes remaining. The important thing, even though you lose the yards there, is the clock's still running, and this is a 2-score ball game with a 9-point lead.
Absolutely, and every first down you can get right now as a Newport Grizzly is going to be 2 more minutes off the clock. So if they can find a way to convert this 3rd down, it can really eat up the clock. Now you're at 4, then 2 minutes.
Moorhead gets the snap, rolls out to the right side. He's looking for Kirkwood on an out route. Kirkwood leaps at the 30, catches the ball. He's pushed out of bounds, but he made the catch at the 31-yard line. Jacob Kirkwood elevated for that one and earned a first down for the Grizzlies.
Great concentration. Treberg coming over there from the safety spot, tries to try and chuck him out of bounds. He still focuses in, makes sure he gets good possession of the ball and gets those feet down, and is able to get the first down that moves the chains.
New formation for Newport. Trips out to the left side, 1 man to the right. Moorhead has Bradbury to his right side, balls on the right hash. Gets the snap, looks like an option. Pitch out to Bradbury, caught it, gets to the 30, 35, 39-yard line before he is tackled out of bounds by Cragen.
And it looks like Moorhead sustained a pretty good hit there from Ramos on the option.
And he's hobbling just a little bit out there. Maybe you pull him out for a play and put Teagan Prange in, but it looks like they're going to leave Moorhead out there. Trips are going back out to the left. Owen is split out to the right.
Credit Moorhead, too, for sticking with the pitch and making the right read, even in the face of contact.
5:55, handoff goes to Bradbury. Jumps past 1 man, keeps his legs churning. And he's going to bounce that one out to the 44-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 8 after Bradbury's last run earned a first down.
Considering that was a high snap, a pretty productive play. He's able to go up and get the handoff off, and Bradbury falls forward. They can continue to grind out these 3-yard chunks. That's all they need to continue to keep this clock moving.
2 men out left, 1 out to the right. Bradbury to Moorhead's right. 2nd and 7 here from the 44-yard line. Handoff once again goes to Bradbury. That one is on just a straight power run. Bradbury breaks 2 tackles around the 48-yard line, gets across the 50 to the 47 of Okanogan. That's first down.
Yeah, Bradbury's showing some great work with his left arm, using it aggressively with that stiff arm. He's able to get a couple defenders off and is able to keep the feet churning, get to the first down.
And this drive has just been Danny Bradbury, Jacob Kirkwood first, and then Bradbury to get these first downs and keep the clock rolling. 5 minutes remaining in the game. 16-7 Grizzlies lead. Okanogan needs a stop. And it looks like referees are saying stop the clock. I'm assuming it's going to be an Okanogan timeout. So with 4:52 left, the Grizz lead 16-7. We're going to take a break alongside both teams. Thanks for listening in. We're on 91.5 Cubs FM.
Cubs FM gives a big thanks to Big Moose Rental Center and Trading Post. Located at 917 9th Street, just before the high school in Priest River, Big Moose Rental Center provides a variety of amenities: rentals, secondhand, consignment, eBay sales, antiques, and more. Big Moose Rental Center is open from 7:30 to 6 Monday through Friday and 9 to 3 Saturday and Sunday. You may contact Big Moose Rental Center at 208-448-2736. The right tool for the right job. That's Big Moose Rental Center and Trading Post.
Back here at Newport High School, where the Grizz are trying to earn their spot in the state playoffs with a big win over Okanogan in the 2-seed crossover between the Caribou Trail and the Northeast A-League. I'm Andrew Goodwin, joined as I have been all day by my good friend Matt Spencer. There's 4:52 left in the fourth quarter, and Newport was kind of holding out on that timeout. Even though Okanogan had everybody on the field, still getting some extra coaching in. And now they're going to jog back out there. If the rest of this drive has been any indication, Danny Bradbury is going to get the ball here on 1st and 10 on the 47. But there are 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Michael Owen is in the formation on the right side, just outside the right tackle. Bradbury is on the left of Moorhead. Ball's on the left hash. Snap in, hand off Bradbury. He's running to the right side, gets through what little of a hole there was, and rolls out to the 46-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and we're seeing Okanogan's still having to respect some of the pass. We saw a huge 3rd down completion earlier in this drive that really got it going, back on a 3rd and 10 at the 20. So they've had to still respect the pass, even though we know it's likely going to go to Bradbury.
Bradbury and Miller will both be in the backfield here, I think. Kirkwood is out to the right. Tug Smith is out to the left. It's 2nd and 9 with 4:17 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Tight end in formation just outside the right tackle. Little communication going on that offensive line. Moorhead gets the snap, hands it off to Miller, and Miller surges forward, but can only get back to the line of scrimmage at the 46-yard line of Okanogan.
The Bulldogs look like they're going to try and hold on to their last 2 timeouts.
They may need them, right? Because, 2-score game with 9 points, you're going to have to get the ball back.
Absolutely, and they're going to have to be aggressive over the air probably, too, would be my guess, if they're able to get the ball back here.
Moorhead has Bradbury to his right, 3:30 and counting. 16-7 Grizzlies lead with 3rd and 10 coming up right here. Moorhead may be ready to throw. He's got 2 guys on the right, 1 on the left. Kirkwood and Miller on the right side. Tug Smith is on the left side. Snap comes into Moorhead. He's looking to pass, rolling out to the right side. Unleashes one out to Michael Owen, the tight end. He stays right along the sideline, tiptoes out to the 25-yard line. That is a 1st down for the Grizz and a big one.
And a huge completion. You get Moorhead scrambling out of the pocket. He gets a little bit of pressure, gets rid of it just in time, hits his tight end, and a huge 1st down. That one can cut another 2 minutes off the clock. We could be looking pretty soon here at 2 minutes short field.
And Okanogan's got to start taking timeouts. They've already used 1. They've got 2 left. Trips in formation to the left side. Ball's on the right hash. Danny Bradbury is going to be to the left of quarterback Adam Moorhead. 2:52 remaining. Moorhead on the option. Pitch to Bradbury. He got the ball at the 30. He's just going to try and stay in bounds here. Got back to the line of scrimmage, the 25-yard line. So the clock still runs. No yards gained there, but I don't think that Newport's going to be too frustrated with that.
No, absolutely. They did what they wanted to do. They got the ball to their running back, had a successful play. Another 30 seconds off the clock.
Miller and Kirkwood to the right. Bradbury and Moorhead in the backfield with 2:22 on the clock in the 4th. And Moorhead's just going to kind of hang out in the backfield for a second here. Gets the snap. Rolls out to the right side. He's looking to pass. No, instead he pulls it down and runs. He's out at the 25, the 20. He's got a block at the 10. Rolls to the 5 and gets out of bounds at the 4-yard line. He's just tripped up there. Adam Moorhead and I, quite frankly, thought he had the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to make it in there, but either way, great read. He drops back. He sees that there's nothing available. He is not going to force that, and he's athletic enough. You see he can make plays with his feet. Cuts up field, makes a nice play, and almost gets to the house.
2:03 remaining. The clock has now stopped because Moorhead went out of bounds, but that's probably fine with the ball on just the 3-yard line.
And a fresh set of 1st downs as well, so you get a couple of plays if you want to try and run it out or try and punch it into the end zone.
Bradbury, handoff to Miller. Miller's got a huge hole, and he is in for 6. 22-7 Grizz with 1:58 remaining in the 4th. I am pretty sure the game is finished at this point.
Absolutely. Great hole there for Miller. He was untouched to the end zone. Nice work by the offensive line. As a running back, there's nothing better than just being able to walk in untouched.
Moorhead now on to take the extra points. Going to make it 23-7 if he can make the extra point here. Oh, and instead, a bad snap. Cummings tries to throw that one, and It gets picked off. The snap came in low. Moorhead wasn't going to be able to kick it. Cummings rolls out to the right and throws it because there's no reason not to.
He's really trying to make something out of nothing. And in the high school game, you cannot return. Unlike professional games, you can't return those for points. So unfortunately, Okanogan not able to take advantage of that.
So now 1:58 remaining. Okanogan's chance of winning this ball game is slim.
Yeah, their
they
window,
still have it. It exists, but it's slim.
Yeah, it's got to be 2 touchdowns and 2 touchdowns quick with 1 2-point conversion. Essentially, if you're Newport here, you got to play it safe and just make tackles. Keep people in front of you, make tackles, get the job done. If you're Okanogan, you got to try and press the issue. You got to take shots downfield, got to be quick, and somehow find a way to probably also recover an onside kick.
And if you're Newport at this point, you're just dropping guys, like 3 guys deep, 3 guys rushing, right?
Absolutely. And you've seen that their defensive line has been able to get pressure. So you got to count, yeah, exactly, on those handful of guys up front to try and get pressure and really play pretty safe defense.
Moorhead now out to kick the ball off. 22-7 is our score. That extra point may be kind of big since Okanogan needs only 1 2-point conversion instead of 2, but they've got to get 2 touchdowns first. So
absolutely, you got to
may
work
not matter
on,
at all.
You got to work on the first one at least first here, and they'll probably need a big return from Grooms, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Grizzlies try and keep it out of his hands.
Yeah, they're probably going to squib kick this one. Moorhead back to kick it off. Kind of light jog forward and a line drive kick. One's going to be fielded at the 25 by Watts, brought out to the 34-yard line before he's brought down by Miller and Bradbury. So the 34-yard line is where this drive is going to start with 1 minute and 52 seconds left in this ball game and a 15-point Newport lead.
And don't be surprised if Veenhuizen is one of the targets here. We've seen them try to attempt to throw the ball deep with him before, but he'll likely be working against Moorhead with some safety help over the top.
Yeah, Miller and Tug Smith are both 20 yards beyond the line of scrimmage at this point. Treberg back, 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Cates in the backfield. Newport's going to rush 4. Treberg looking to throw. He's going to throw it into traffic, and it's knocked down by Jesse Cummings, who was nearly picked off. I was looking for a short pass there, and Cummings just batted that one down.
Cummings dropping back into his zone right where that slant route would be. That was where Treberg was trying to go there. He tried to look away from it to try and open up that lane, but Cummings just sat right in that slant lane.
1:48 remaining in the game, 22-7. Okanogan's offense still yet to score. This would be the first touchdown of the game if they could get one on this drive.
And it would be a big one if they can keep themselves in it. They'll need it quick.
Treberg, handoff to Watts, and Watts is dragged down at the 35-yard line on the jet sweep. And that's just going to keep the clock ticking. You got to question some of that play calling. It's just 3rd and 9. They only picked up 1 yard, and you need to put the ball in the air if you are Okanogan at this point. But it looks like they're going to huddle up. They're not even going no huddle with the clock counting down 1:24 and headed only downwards.
And it's tough for a team that's so used to huddling and running those plays, those run plays, to get into a different rhythm.
Snap comes back to Treberg, trying to run the option. Instead, he is brought down in the backfield. I believe that was Matthew Kirkwood. Got by his man and races all the way into the backfield to take down Treberg. Now there are only 57 seconds left. And I think you can put this one on the board. It's going to be a W for Newberg.
Yeah, absolutely. And that play, just a blown play. Treberg tries to look around, and unfortunately the running back wasn't there for the sweep, so he just tried to make something of the play, but great play by Kirkwood, to get upfield and make a great tackle.
Newport leading this one 22-7 as Okanogan heads back out onto the field. 2 receivers right, 1 left. I think they've got a throw here. Watts goes in motion. 2 fake handoffs. Treberg is dropped in the backfield. That is Luke Nichols, who swung him around himself, I think, 3 times before throwing Treberg to the ground. And it's going to be a turnover on downs with 12.8 seconds left. and that's going to be it. Newport's going to win this ball game.
And it's not the first time we've seen Nichols be a disruptive force in the backfield against the Bulldogs. He's swung around Treberg a couple of times today, making some nice tackles for loss, as it looks like they're going to get into victory formation to send themselves on to the next round.
Newport, like you mentioned, Matt, in victory formation. 12.8 seconds remaining. All they've got to do is snap it. The knee is down, and Newport is headed to the state playoffs. A state semifinalist last year, and if they can get this offense going, I think they could do even better this year.
Absolutely. We saw flashes of their speed and their ability to break tackles throughout the game, especially by both Miller, and you saw a nice catch and take into the end zone by Kirkwood as well. This team can be dangerous on offense.
We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about today's game on the Newport Grizzly Halftime Show. Thanks for joining us. Newport winning this ball game 22-7. Make sure to stick around for a little bit more analysis right after this break on 91.5 Cubs FM.
Cubs FM would like to thank Brown Course Company for their sponsorship. Brown Course Company is a full-service environmental contractor specializing in mechanical logging, forestry mulching, road construction, watershed restoration, excavation, and demolition. Brown Course Company is located in Elk, Washington, and can be contacted at 509-292-9701. Again, that's 509-292-9701. Good people serving a great community. That's Brown Course Company.
Cubs FM says thank you to the Camas Medical and Dental Clinic. Located in the Camas Center for Community Wellness, they provide medical and dental services to the public, including routine office visits, lab services, x-ray, well child care, women's health, immunizations, chiropractic, physical and aquatic therapy, nutrition counseling, and routine dental care and prevention. Camas Medical and Dental Clinic, compassionate care for complete wellness. 447-7111 or on the web at Kalispelltribe.com.
Concept Cable is a proud sponsor of Cubs FM. Concept Cable provides digital cable service as well as high-speed internet to Newport, Old Town, Priest River, Diamond Lake, and much of the surrounding area. You may find the Concept Cable business office at 412 South Union Avenue in Newport. You may contact them at 208-437-4544, or you may log on to conceptcable.com, your local broadband provider. That's Concept Cable.
Back here at Newport High School, where the Grizz just took down Okanogan to advance to the state playoffs. The final score 22-7. Back here for the brief post-game show on 91.5 Cubs FM. I'm Andrew Goodwin, joined by Matthew Spencer up here in the booth. Matt, Newport played a great game today. Not their best offensive showing, but a great defensive showing and just enough offense to come away with the W by 2 scores. Who's your player of the game?
It's hard to choose. All three of their critical players, their seniors, played great. Obviously, Johnny Miller, 2 touchdowns today, and Bradbury was a beast on, running the football. But I'd have to go with Tug Smith today. He really set the tone for this Grizzly defense. He was deflecting passes. He was in on forcing fumbles. He got an interception that got called back and was constantly making tackles at the line of scrimmage, or was part of that defending that interception that got called back, but was just really a good tone setter for this defense that didn't allow a touchdown, didn't allow any points, and really dominated this Okanogan offense.
Absolutely, and now they're headed to the Washington State football playoffs. The Grizzlies are going to be seeded on November 4th. I assume that's when the bracket will be announced as well, so you're going to want to check the WIA website for that, because we don't even know all the teams are going to make it yet. Teams like Riverside and OMAC are going to play tomorrow. So you're going to want to be checking the WIA website if you are a Grizz fan. Okanogan's season unfortunately ending today. The 2 seed out of the Caribou Trail League just couldn't get the offense going.
No, and really they had some chances late in the game. They got the ball on Newport territory, had a chance to try and make a drive, but just couldn't make enough up today to try and catch up.
Absolutely. And really just a dominant win for Newport. They're going to hope to continue this momentum. They've won 3 straight contests into the state playoffs. Once again, our final today, 22-7 Grizz. Thanks for joining in. For Matt Spencer, I'm Andrew Goodwin. Thanks for joining us on 91.5 Cubs FM.
Bruce Hunt Farmers Insurance is a valued sponsor of this radio station, located at 309 South Washington Avenue in Newport, Washington. Bruce Hunt Farmers Insurance provides home, auto, and life insurance, open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Bruce Hunt Farmers Insurance may be contacted at